it last a little longer. Say you wanna fix our problems. How long should I be waiting? Feels like I've had too much of drama, but I'm not ready to give in. I don't wanna see us going out and not forget. Baby, all I really want is
Hello, everybody, and welcome. We finally reached the Elite Planes. We finished with Rival. We had the Prospect and Challenger playoffs last weekend. We finally get some of the higher tiers in the league. We enter the middle ground for RSC, a tier that I myself am quite familiar with, and it will be tonight myself dispatch casting along with Tom Dillon. How are you doing?
Great, and very excited for these elite play-ins now. Only two more tiers to go after this one before we get to the conclusion of this RSC season. It's been a very good season indeed, and well, we saw some incredible play-ins last night, and I'm sure we're going to see some incredible ones today. First up, though, of course, Embry versus Carbo. Two teams finishing very well, or finishing decently in their division, 6th and 5th, so actually only just scraping through, of course, for this first round, but it means it should be a close game.
Yes, indeed. One of these teams needs to go home. One of them will advance, I believe, to be playing against Archeon's side later in the evening. These are two teams coming from opposing conferences. I've played Embry myself in League Play quite a while ago, but I haven't played Carbo since preseason. Be interested to see how these teams match up against each other, but I do know that this will be a very interesting series.
It should be, as we will take a look at the player and team statistics in a moment. They're usually quite evenly matched heading into this round of the play-ins, but we saw yesterday in the game with Overkill that it's not always completely evenly matched. Of course, Overkill taking a sweep in that game, then going on and making playoffs in the end. So, play and form, very interesting indeed. However, the point is that the team statistics are very, very close.
Looking at them now, we do have pretty similar team statistics. I mean, 6th and 5th, 4-win difference from opposing conferences. The goals for being within 2. The goals against also being quite similar, but the main outlier being the saves and demos amount. And Carbo having around 70 more saves than this Embry side, and around 60 more demos for Embry. You might be seeing a bit more of an aggressive side coming out today. The shooting percentage, though, a 4% difference. We don't really see that big of a difference coming out from rosters. It usually does just lay around that 30% mark.
Yes, and 2% difference isn't, or 3% difference isn't the most consequential thing. Of course, it is sort of made up for in the wins column, and that's the only important column at the end of the day. As you head into play-ins, though, of course, that gets practically evaporated. So, going to need to get off to a flying start in this game, that's for sure. As we take a look at the player statistics as well, it looks like both teams have got pretty clear lineups here. Both Embry and Carbo, they know their main roster. Got a clear sub in for it's Pog for the Luna's side, and then for Carbo it's JRKU. And I was saying yesterday, and I say this a lot actually, that it's very important that you have that sort of main roster, that idea in your head of who you want heading into series, and I think that's equally true now.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking over this Embry side. C Squared and Fane being in the league as long as I have from around Season 3, 3 years ago now. Fane took his first step into this league. He's remained here even in Season 10, and has very much been trying to push forward, but I'm going to have to highlight Cool. Cool is the main man for this Embry side. They do play quite aggressive, they do manage to pause themselves around in the midfield. Sometimes they can be a little bit late with it, or they can just be a bit slow going forward. If Carbo can try disrupt them in that midfield line, maybe some demos coming in, there is players like Conflict and Renko on that Carbo side that can cause issues for Embry. I'm not sure if Jerku is sub. I know that he did join quite late in the season. That game amount may be just due to roster changes. We will have to see what roster they do throw out tonight, but I do know that whatever variation Carbo throw out, it will be competitive.
Yes, definitely will be competitive, and I think we're just about ready to get the teams into the lobby. We'll tell them to join up whenever they're ready. Of course, into the game, they're already in the lobby, you'd hope. And, well, actually, they've just got a couple of people joining in. And, well, I think a slight issue with the teams getting underway. It's Embry in the red, Carbo in the blue. And let's get underway for this 5-match series, one that's going to be so close indeed.
I was right. We do see Jerku, Conflict, and Renko coming out for Carbo. Renko trying to get a flip reset early on. Fane unable to get contact, but Conflict once again trying to get pressure. The first 10 seconds now. My prediction coming true that there is going to be players such as Renko and Conflict that will be able to break down this Embry defense. Is only going to be a matter of time. We do see a demo coming out very early on. Chance for Conflict, not this one in off the backboard, but C Squared. That's a block. Fane, Orc in the corner. Renko is just too fast, applying pressure in the defense. But Cool, ever so calm, clearing the ball. Jerku looking for the back pass. Conflict up in the air now. Might have a chance for a pass down. Oh, man, just to get a touch away, but Fane is just there. Has no boost, trying to clear the ball long, but the demos, again, keeping Embry in the half so early on. They've just been absolutely trapped. Double commit comes out. Cool is able to relieve pressure, but immediately, Fane diving in. Carbo just having complete control in the opening minute.
Complete control indeed. Embry looking to come out of their shell though. That being said, JR goes for the shot and it's cleared off of the post. Conflict gets the ball, however, looks for the pinch into the centre for a teammate. Can't find a teammate. Another demo in the middle. This time it is on Carbo player. So a little bit of encouragement there. This one lingers for Conflict for a moment, but Cool gets it clear. Renko now has to collect back in his own half for the first time, and there's a little bit of a chance actually for Embry for once into the centre. Conflict brings it away, and now they're caught short at the back. There's absolutely no one home. JR with the shot. He's going to get the goal, and that was certainly coming.
Very easy pickings for Jerku early on here. Conflict unable to get anything off of the flip reset. Very easy counter-attack and just aggressive early on from Embry. We do see Carbo taking the lead. The player that was questioned if they would be playing today, joining in late and maybe the saviour for this roster, but Cool, trying to keep things competitive. Gets a bit threatening, but C Squared is there for the follow-up. Renko to flip the ball to the side. Looking for the Kugse pinch out. Managed to beat out the defender, but Conflict having to bail out this Carbo side. Cool, ready for the ball now. Trying to find C Squared in the middle. The defender not seeing him coming. Just a very easy goal. A horrible mistake from Carbo.
C Squared puts it home quite nicely. And we go to 1-1 in this game. Getting back underway. It's one of those that you just sense. Embry is still in, of course, taking that goal, despite the fact they've been essentially dominated all game long. Jerku with the shot almost, looking for the double tap off of the backboard. Can't quite find it, and now into the centre for Conflicts with the shot. It's off of the post. Can it bounce out for a teammate? It can't, and now Cole brings it forward with a chance with a real menace, and Renko gets it cleared. Fane this time into the centre, looks for a teammate. Jerku brings it away once more, finds Renko on this left-hand side, but the ball again goes back into less dangerous territory. Call is demoed, which I think is actually quite crucial in the end, but Fane with the shot, and oh, it's another brilliant save from Renko.
Renko, as I said, needs to try to get aggressive to break down Embry, but currently the only saves on the side of Carbo, continuing that stat, racking up a 4th so far. And is Embry trying to maintain pressure. We spoke about this midline. C-Squared trying to keep it there, trying to find Cool in the center. The ball floating above the net. Conflict is ready to clear. Fane, left as last man now, rushed out by Renko, but does not falter under the pressure. Renko steals boost, trying to get forward once again, but miscommunication causes the ball to fall into Embry's hands, but immediately returned. And Renko so close to the front post, but just narrow margins. A chance for Embry to try counterattack, but it is still a 1-goal game for both these teams. Still kept at a tie, but as we do find ourselves right by the Carbo net, C-Squared trying to get pressure. We see Jerku and Conflict picking up saves. This one just rolling by the side of the far post. Ever so awkward in the defense. No boost to Renko. Everyone trying to contest this ball in the Carbo half. Once again, Jerku ready to clear. Managed to miss the ball. There is a chance for Fane now. Knocks the ball in off the corner. Trying to reach up for the shot. Faking out his teammate C-Squared. Mechanical mishaps preventing Embry from putting themselves ahead.
Absolutely. Embry just looking the more menacing of the size in his second half almost. With C-Squared now going for the shot. Renko gets it cleared away. But they're still unable to be just as clinical as they would hope. Now there's going to be a shot from Fane. It's cleared by Conflict. A slight mistake actually on the side of Conflict. Embry still going there into the centre for Cool. He brings it forward, but Conflict again in the air is able to match it. 1 minute remaining now in this game. Renko with another crucial save, only for Conflict to pass it back to him. And he can bring it away now. Cool is challenging. They haven't really got it out of their own half here, Carbo. They need to in the next 50 seconds. The ball goes clear. Fane now chasing back, trying to stop a little bit of a counter-attack from the side of Carbo. The counter-attack is on and there's a missed ball that goes into the centre. Thankfully, there is a man rotating back and now the shot comes in. Renko gets it clear into the centre. Jerku going up for it, trying to avoid an overtime in this first game of 5. There's a demo in the centre again of Conflict, which is quite huge. It's going to leave the goal open for a moment, but then in the end, the revenge play. Jerku gets the demo into the centre though, and C-Squared with the goal.
Oh, it's just uncontested. It's not good enough from Carbo. Renko just giving the ball away. Drops in off of the ceiling. The misreads, but the pressure from Embry being rewarded. We do count down into the final 19 seconds of this game, and Renko and Carbo going to be kicking themselves. He's put on a great defensive showing, but it hasn't been good enough to stop this roster. They look so good so far, just with the measly 5 shots compared to, I believe, 11 coming out from Embry. Carbo just have not had the aggression they've needed to contest with Embry so far. The only goal that they got was pretty easy pickings, but C-Squared and Embry do take game 1, and a very strong performance from them indeed.
They were very much dominated in that first sort of half, weren't they? But then in the end, able to, well, actually apply the pressure and do the dominating in the second half, which I think is a very interesting thing on their side. They take the 1 game lead in the series, which could prove telling. Of course, if they get a second game now, then they put all of the pressure on Carbo heading into the last 3, needing that reverse sweep. Of course, Anarchy waiting the winner of this series, but C-Squared, probably for me, the influential player in that game, despite not getting the most points. We're going to have a remake of the lobby as well.
Definitely Renko sticking out for Carbo, definitely being the main player, keeping them in that. I mean, 5 saves, having to be such a defensive player for the roster does come with its bragging rights, and we'll definitely be looking at their own teammates to see what the issues are with trying to go forward, because they just did not look strong enough to try contend on the offense. I did say that Embry caging teams and trying to stall the ball in the midfield is what they're good at, and Carbo, the only chance they managed to get out of that midfield line was the goal that they scored, and it was due to a defensive mistake. It was a double commit. It was a very wrong play coming out from Embry that led to their goal. They was completely in control in that first game, and Carbo need to change things around if they're going to be able to contend.
Absolutely, of course, there is no second chances in these play-ins, which I find very interesting indeed. It means that you've got so much pressure on those individual games that you do play. It makes for a very interesting dynamic indeed. Of course, it's always as well with these play-ins, bigger challenges ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be quite rough for these teams to get themselves back involved, but with a break, it does give this roster some time to be able to think about what's going wrong. And Tom, I really want to know what you think this Carbo side needs to change around if they want to be able to get games back against what looks like a very dominant Embry.
Well, I think they've just got to almost try and be a little bit more organised, try and play a little bit more creatively as well. I know those two things don't always seem like they directly go hand in hand, but it can happen. Just need a couple of attempts. You need to make sure you're organised at the back, make sure you don't overcommit to anything, but also you can be that little bit more creative. I'd like to see as well some team plays coming into it.
Yeah, they're definitely need to link up with each other and try to get themselves involved. We do have a new lobby here. I believe we do have different details, so it's waiting on some people to get back in, and we will be underway. We do move with map 2 to Forbidden Temple. So now it'll be interesting to see how Carbo will be able to bounce back, because having such a dominant game from Embry is going to be hard for them to try keep themselves involved and try to fight, because now the only thing that's going to happen is that Embry get more and more confident, because this Carbo side, they will need to try and break down what is a very strong and unified roster. They've kept the same since the start of the season. The chemistry is going to be there for Embry and Carbo to break them apart. They're going to have to show even more chemistry than Embry do, which I don't know is possible from this roster.
Not too sure. I do know for a fact we're going to get underway, though, for the second game of this 5-match series. Carbo, they've annoyingly, I believe, switched over colours, and it's going to be Embry who used the blue colour and perhaps gets a little bit of luck from it, and it's immediately a kick-off goal. It's going to be Cool who gets it. Colour switch and a goal.
Yeah, the colour switch is due to the fact it was reversed on the overlay. It was set up wrong in the first game, but has been corrected. But the thing that isn't going to be corrected is that Embry starting off the better side is Cool. Uncharacteristic whiff there. Still able to recover and get the ball past 1-2 players, flying for boost in the corner of Carbo. Cool does have time just to air dribble the ball for a little bit. Just buying space for his team. Trying to establish that midfield presence that I have talked about so very much. Trying to block out an attack here, but it's Renko with no boost. Trying to send the ball forward. Fane is there on the return, but Conflict already up for the ball. Managed to get it over 2. Cool is there for the follow-up, but Bump does come out. Jerku back in. Cool has no boost. Trying to clear the ball long. Managed to get it, but Conflict is waiting, and Fane just absolutely faster on this pitch at the moment. C-Squared trying to keep some pressure. Jerku pre-jumping from the backboard, able to get 50 with Cool, only as far as Fane. Might be able to get a touch into the centre here, looking for his teammate, but no one there. Cool managing to get a demo to try keep some pressure, but Conflict already up for the ball. A lot of ping-pong Rocket League coming out in Game 2 so far.
But it is Embry who have the lead, and that's the most important thing here, and they're controlling it quite well. C-Squared goes up for one, leaves it for a teammate in the end. Cool now on this right-hand side wall, trying to venture in to the centre. Finds C-Squared in the end, just to try and keep this ball alive, but the Vigor out of the counter-attack with 3 men back. Demo in the centre on C-Squared, and now a chance with not many men back for a slight shot that comes in, but it's dealt with by Fane, who brings it forward once more. Jerku only able to find Cool, unfortunately. Trying to go forward once more are the Embry squad, who are leading the way at the moment. This time there's a chance if Renko can get the beating of C-Squared. He can get the beating of C-Squared, and he levels the game.
Awkward touch from Renko. Don't know if that was intentional, but either way, working in his favour. C-Squared going for the higher 50-50, and Renko is either a genius or very, very lucky to come out of that play with a goal. Carbo able to bring themselves level, and Renko's led the charge in Game 1, definitely continuing to do so in Game 2. So they will try to hunt for a second here. Jerku trying to find a read, immediately disrupted. Renko once again on the ball, trying to get this one forward, but Cool is found by Fane, and once again the triple play is trying to come out. The C-Squared not in position, trying to get themselves into position for this play, but as one player gets beaten out, a second gets beaten out as well. Cool stretching on the goal line to get the ball cleared. Now, Embry have a little bit of position. Fane misreading this. Cool, awkward in the midfield, but C-Squared is ready for it, looking for the double tap. Jerku trying to collect and send the ball long, but Fane is there to cut it out. Pressure gonna be here for Carbo, but short back pass by C-Squared, throwing everyone in the lobby off, including his teammate. Is Orc on the goal line now. 2 players do commit from Embry. A chance for a shot from the back post for Jerku. A bit too slow for it. Cool and Fane combining. Renko trying to find a shot to the far post, and with C-Squared being the last man and diving in there, crucial opportunity missed to send themselves ahead.
Moment going a lot better in this second game. Perhaps just the nerves of the first game wearing off, and now as they go forward, Cool with a shot going to try and get it off. He can't quite do so, and we stay at 1-1 at the moment. You just sense that perhaps there's an ebb and flow here as Fane with the shot. C2 now with a shot, and it's just saved by Conflict. He'll get the points for that. C2 is keeping it alive. Conflict is there once more. He's only going to find Cool down this right-hand side. However, he tries and bring it away, and it actually lingers here for a second. If Cool can get the tap away, Jerku able to match it and tap it cleverly past one of the defenders. Gets demoed, though. There's a second demo and a real opportunity here. If Jerku gets beaten, he does get beaten. And it's 2-1 Wembley.
The demos made it like Carbo would have an opportunity there, but C2 just cleaning the back line. Cool, waiting for Fane, and just plays the low 50-50 into net. Calm and calculated. Cool, picking up a brace so far in this game. 100% shooting from that man so far. And Embry, once again, just looking the better side on the offense. Renko gets bumped on what was a crucial chance. Well played by Embry. Jerku on the back line, stretching ever so far for the ball, but Cool here to try keep pressure once again. Jerku able to get bumped and buy some time. C2 trying to cut back in. Only as far as Cool though. Conflict left on the backline. Fane with no boost. Under pressure from Jerku. Trying to deal with two players attacking. Managed to do so brilliantly. And veteran Fane really showing his experience there. A brilliant play to deny an equalizer from Carbo.
As they go forward once more to Embry with a minute to go. A minute to try and stay ahead in this game and take the 2-goal lead in the series, the 2-game lead in the series. They've got a 2-goal lead in the game, that's for sure. And it's Cool with the shot. This time it was just a bit of a defensive mishap, and Cool was there to make up for Renko's mistake. He scored very well in that first game, did Renko, 600 points. And despite his 284 in this game, it's still not enough. And 3-1 at the moment. I think we know which way this game's going.
Renko stacking up now to 7 saves in 2 games, but still not good enough on the backline to prevent those mistakes. Just handing Cool his third, a hat-trick with still 100% shooting. An impressive game from Cool, just being there when his teammates need him. As we do see Carbo trying to go on the aggression. Cool up for that ball, but C2 to swat it away. Cool once again trying to get some pressure. Managed to get the pinch out off the wall. Fane knocking the ball long. No one in his team to be able to return it, but Jerku immediately giving Cool a second chance to knock this ball into the center. Conflict try-bang, trying to find Jerku. A chance for a play from Carbo here, linking up, but C2 ever so ready on the defense, and maybe a chance for a counter-attack of their own. No boost for anyone on Embry right now, but Fane is up for this ball, trying to contest Renko. Gets 50 down into the corner. There is still time for Embry to pad their stats in this game too, but it is all but over in game 2. The ball hits the ground. Cool and Embry able to take game 2, putting themselves on match point, and Carbo not looking like they can stand up to the brilliant chemistry that we've seen from Embry so far.
Absolutely not. Embry, again, not looking looking a little bit shaky at stages in that game. Carbo getting that equaliser, of course. However, they still managed to get the 3-1 victory, and that is a huge moment for them in this game. They're on match point, which perhaps is going to be converted. You say it will be converted on this momentum. That's for certain. Carbo going to need to find something very special.
Carbo definitely have to link up with each other, because they are just not looking at the exact level that Embry are just performing at. As I said, being together the entire season so far, they just have been the better side. The chemistry is absolutely showing. Carbo struggling on equal points, but just the aggression, nothing's coming of it. They're not converting any of the chances that they have had going forward. Carbo, they need to try find each other. They need to be trying to play these infields, because they're not going to be able to disrupt Embry. Embry's passing is sublime. Some of the best in the tier. They look so well organized when going forward. And even the defense, able to find each other. We do see double commits, but Embry make it work. This Carbo side, whenever they double commit, they just don't look like they're talking to each other. The communication really needs to ramp up from them.
Embry with a chance to book a date with Anarchy in the next round, and do it so early that they'll manage to get themselves a nice little half-an-hour break. Immediately coming forward, it might be a kick-off goal once more. It is almost surely now. C2, oh no, it's a terrible miss. It's off of the crossbar, and they come back the other end. Oh my word, that was nasty Rocket League.
It was very awkward, but what would have been a brilliant start so far. Fane trying to get a redirect off of Cool's pass. Maybe a chance for Carbo to go forward, but C2 playing this ever so calmly. Jerku rushing in for the save. able to flip this ball long, but C Squared trying to find Cool once again, trying to get the redirect, but Renko is not psyched out. Has time for the clear, but C Squared still being a menace in the corner. Double commit from Carbo, but still pressure for this Embry side. Both players trying to find Cool in the center, has some time on the ball, but Conflict rushing it out, trying to get the ball into the corner here. A heavy bounce and a demo preventing a goal so far, but demos once again. 2 demos from Fane. Now has a chance for a shot as well. All 3 players back. For Carbo, a difficult angle. Jerku is there for the save. We do have time now in the Embry half. Immediately rushed out by Jerku, missing the ball. A bump on Renko as well. Renko having tried to play this ball slow, but a double commit coming out from Embry. A chance now for Carbo to put themselves on the ball, but Jerku missing an open net and the follow-up touch. It's spelling disaster so far for Carbo in Game 3.
My word. Both teams having huge opportunities now as Renko storms forward, and it's just dealt with by C Squared very well in the end. Him and Cool linking up in defence, rather coolly so, as now Jerku into the centre, looks for a teammate, able to find Renko, but Renko touches this up, perhaps for C Squared. C Squared gets the shot, and it's cleared off of the line by Jerku. Still alive here if Conflicts can't get it away. He can feign this time, trying to prevent the counter-attack. Gets beaten by Conflict, gets a bump on him, however, to stop the shot going forward properly. And now C Squared with a chance, has Fane on his right-hand side, was unfortunately Conflict able to get the ball. He does a demo, and now Cool with the shot. Or Conflict was demoed, I apologise. Just rotating back, wasn't he, the attacker? So it looked like he was the one that was demoed. Cool in the corner now. Fane trying to bring it away. 2 minutes 40 to go. And at the moment, nothing in between these two sides as Embry look to book their place in that second round.
So far, Embry just looking once again like the better side, but no goals to show for it from either of these sides so far. But Jerku leading Carbo in stats by a huge margin. 4 saves, and they seem to just be taking turns so far. Who's going to be the star player, but they just have not been able to break down this Embry side so far. Both teams having their chances, but as no one contests this ball yet, Conflict's up late. Jerku is found on the end of the ball. They're able to get the ball clear, only as far as C Squared. Cool and Renko rushing for the ball. A50 still finds the ball in the Carbo half. Conflict to send it long. C Squared trying to find time for the return here. Just playing the ball slow. Managed to pop it over one. Renko rushing over. Managed to get the 50-50 into the middle. Only one play back for Carbo. A demo does come out from Conflict on C Squared, trying to find Cool off the backboard. He's already racing forward, psyching out 2 defenders. C Squared has time in the midfield, knocks the ball long. Needs a player to try to return the ball. C Squared, once again, there for it. Pressure from Embry, just biding their time in the rotations, knowing they don't have to play too aggressive. They just look so much in control of even the way that Carbo are playing. They're just playing into their hands right now. Still, so far, we are goalless with 1:30 left.
You say that as C Squared with the shot almost can't quite find it, and a bump on Jerku does allow Renko to go pull forward in the end. Conflict with a slight upfield boo. Fane forward, managed to get the redirector's call. Fane still going here. It's off of the backboard. Still 0-0. This is an unbelievable passage of play. I'm surprised no one's had a lucky shot or something yet. Cool off of the crossbar. Is able to get a save. Probably not as nicely or as, well, dignified as he'd like. Renko with the shot. Fane there to match it. A shot comes in from Conflict this time. Cleared by C Squared. I don't want to say we're destined for overtime here, but both teams not looking the greatest in attack at the moment. The defence is holding firm. A shot, and oh, that's exactly why you don't say things like that, as Conflict keeps both the game alive for Carbo, and also, probably more importantly, keeps the series alive in what is a low-scoring game.
Too much faith in the post for Embry. That ball did look like it was bouncing out, and very unfortunate that it did bounce straight into their net. Do get down to the final 40 seconds now, and Carbo looking like the team to be able to take this game. Embry will have to try forcing overtime, but as 2 players missing on the back line, an open shot for Conflict, an open shot for Jerku, dropping it down, and this game is absolutely over. We will probably be seeing map 4 here. Jerku just placing the ball perfectly underneath C Squared. Carbo looking the better of Embry so far, but it has to be said, Embry look like the better team so far, but just mistakes in the backline, allowing Carbo just to sneak through and take the 3rd game.
He's trying to out-Casticurse me, which I find incredible. There's now Fane with this shot. comes in. Pasterkur's not there just yet. Into the centre for Conflicts. Has the shot, of course. The goals are going to come a little bit easier here for Carbo in the last 10 seconds as you start to see the overcommits. Fane trying to keep this game alive. We're about to go to 0 seconds. And it is Carbo keeping this series alive. We're still getting through this in rapid fire fashion. 29 minutes past the hour. And I say that purely because of the break and wanting that break heading into the next game, which is in half an hour's time. At the moment, however, Game 4, Carbo keep the series alive with a nice 2-0 victory. And it was a different Carbo side we saw there.
We will have to see what happens in the rest of this. Carbo trying to fight back so far. Embry still 2-1 in the series. Carbo, signs of life after just trying to get the mistakes forced out from Embry, and they've done so successfully. Embry did look in control, but they just weren't able to score. The defense much tighter, especially from Jerku. The only saves on the side of Carbo, 4 to his name as well. We're seeing a very different Carbo side so far, and they were looking for those passes going forward. They were looking to try get those infields, to try link up. It did work. It managed to win them this game 3. So we will have to see how are Carbo going to, well, deal with this Embry side, because trying to get reverse sweep is a very difficult task.
A difficult task indeed as we go to TFH Stadium to the delight of the Embry players. And, well, a slight issue for one of the Carbo roster. I think it's Jerku who's had a slight issue. And getting ready for this 4th game. Carbo with a nice opportunity to regroup here, have a more relaxing sort of break, as they've got that teammate who's trying to get back in, can have a bit of a timeout now and just sort of talk to each other and think, how are we going to approach these last 2 games? We need to win both of them. Our opponents still are on the front foot here, even though we've absolutely poured our hearts and soul into that last game.
Yeah, it does definitely give them time to convene and see what they have to do. But Carbo just need to replicate what they were able to do on map 3 there. They've done what they need to, and they just need to keep on repeating that. Do wait on Jerku to get back in the lobby. It'll definitely be interesting to see if they are able to develop anything and try to get some strategy, try to lock down this Embry side. They seem to have it figured out, but it was mistakes from Embry that opened the door, and having to rely on them to fail in the defense and have those miscommunications is not a viable way to play. They're going to have to work out some kind of way to force out the errors, because this Carbo side, they haven't been able to create any opportunities. It's all just been pretty much gifted to them.
It has, though, I suppose, it just, as I said, into the last 2 games, we know where the momentum is. You've just got to think, we know our job, they know our job, and it's just going to be down to the better team, in theory, in these last 2 games.
As we do see Jerku rejoin the lobby, we'll be getting to map 4, DFH Stadium, as much to the delight of the players. Pretty commonly known by teams that scrim Embry that if it's not on DFH, they do not want it. Somehow, this is where they play their best Rocket League. It's not even a joke at this point. I was half convinced that they were throwing Game 3 to try and get themselves here, but Renko starting out hot for Carbo. Really good 50. Fane just making a mistake, trying to pass it back. Renko is just faster, and 5 seconds in, Carbo taking the lead.
Well, they do play their best Rocket League here. If a kickoff goal is their best Rocket League, trying to get back into this immediately, Embry. There's a demo on Conflict in the Embry half, which is not too consequential in the end. Cool trying to bring it forward. Conflict gets it away. C-squared now down his left-hand side is beaten by Renko, who has a shot and a real opportunity here. Renko, the ball just falls away from him. Jerku can't quite get the shot away either, and now C-squared bring it away. Finds Faye. Cool now with the attempted redirect. Can't quite turn it home. C-squared with the attempt at a knock-on. It's just a demo in the centre as well on Jerku, and now a chance surely to get the goal off of the crossbar. Doesn't pop up for anyone else. Conflict bringing it forward down the left-hand side into the sidewall. Fane gets it clear. Cool gets it clear as well. And with a minute gone already, only 1-0 to Carbo, and a chance for Fane maybe to make it 1-1. At the moment, Carbo with their sights on a game 5.
So far, Embry trying to just get these passes into the midfield to try create some chances. Joku to cut out, maybe a chance for an open net for Renko. C-Squared racing back, not enough boost. And Embry, the infield passes have been picked up on by Carbo. And Joku just able to beat out the player. Renko is just fast enough to place that where C-Squared doesn't have enough momentum to find it. Carbo, as I said, they need to find a solution to not just get lucky on the players going forward. They have found a way to car Embry, and it's really helping them in this game 4.
As we get back underway, Embry needing something desperately into the centre, gets cleared away, and a chance to attack with a little bit more vigour now for Carbo. A crucial demo in the centre is actually going to leave them very short at the back. Remco gets back into the game quickly into the centre though, and Renko back from the demo is able to get it cleared. 2-0. Embry looking to wrap up this series. Embry needing to wrap up this series. You suggest that the momentum might be all with Carbo if we head into a game 5 here. Of course, anything can happen, but I suppose they'd be extra interested in getting the job done, given all the extra work. Fane now with a double tap is able to get it into the net, and it's 2-1. Game back on.
We could see that coming from a mile away. The positioning is just not there. Joku definitely not reading that ball. Fane was ready for it, reading that ever so well. Very ambitious play, a bit too much confidence from Carbo there. Expecting that Fane will not follow up that ball and that they'd have it under control. Miscommunication and just way too much confidence, but it's cool. Going off the ceiling now, managed to get the flip forward, managed to get the reset. Nothing back to the ball. We want to see more confidence coming out from Embry. C-Square on the ball now, trying to take this ball past the defenders. Managed to pop it high above both. Cool is up for the ball, trying to get the aerial down. Joku off the post. Fane turning the ball into the center. Is there going to be someone to follow up? No. Conflict having free reign of the ball, trying to get the 50-50 out. Cool. Orc on the backline. Joku is up for the ball. Renko does have time, pops the ball into the corner, trying to get a follow-up again. Tries to get the ball into center, successfully does so. Manages to get demoed for his efforts. The miscommunication coming out from Carbo there. Both players just leaving the ball for each other. And Embry get the return of the possession. Fane trying to find Cool. Managed to do so. Is anyone going to be up for Embry? And once again, the third man just too slow from Embry. They give the ball away. If they want to try get themselves back into this game, they need to be faster. A horrible mistake on the goal line from Carbo. Just leaving C-Squared unattended. He was marked by Joku. Conflict going off the post is just easy pickings, and Embry find themselves tied up with 2 minutes.
There is absolutely zero explanation for that miscommunication. It's probably cost them that goal in the end. It's Cool into the centre, finds Fane, and that is so close. Renko gets save credit in the end, but both players doing very well indeed, trying to bring this back forward. Fane is back, so's Cool. In fact, Cool's going to have to get a chase on here. A chance if it falls. Cool gets it away. He keeps his Cool, and now down this right-hand side, tries to go forward, but Joku gets the ball. Conflict with the shot. Fane able to clear it off the line once more. Already Carbo trying to get back into this. Cool clearing it again, gets yet another save in this game. Fane going forward. They probably will be thinking about overtime already. 1:30 to go. Fane off of the right-hand side wall, trying to go forward. Can't go forward. And I'm afraid to say Conflict is able to bring it away, but Cool keeping the vigour in the attack. Into the corner. Can't find a teammate once more. C2 is going to try it. Fane gets back. And Conflict trying to go forward, but again, just the midfield being very staunch and almost like a corner-sack, and that is a crucial save from Joku.
Brilliant save. That was an absolutely amazing play coming out from Embry on the offensive line. Carbo and Joku just reaching to the bar there. Absolutely amazing save to keep Carbo in this. We've seen unrelenting pressure from Embry so far. We do see Carbo trying to get up the pitch now. Mistake from Cool, opting for the boost after the misflip. Is already up for this. Managed to beat our Conflict. Fane trying to be found and in this ball, but C-Squared is the last man. Leaving the ball. Renko missing. Plays that perfectly over Conflict. Joku as the last man has all 3 players from Embry up the pitch, but Cool trying to get the ball forward. Conflict leaving this ball for Renko, but with no boost. Difficult task to try get some offense. Fane 50-50ing the ball up high. Conflict missing. Managing to throw off the attacker. Cool plays the ball slow, but Renko now having possession, trying to send the ball long, but Joku has control, looking for the flick over the defenders. Is Cool going to be there? He is, picking up a saviour medal in the dying seconds, and very close saves, keeping both these teams in this. as we do head towards 0 seconds. Cool is up the ball, trying to get the redirect. Jerku managed to pick up his own savior medal, being ever so clutch in these final moments, just getting the ball out of the net. Jerku, a defensive masterclass to keep Carbo in this game.
So close, and they go to try for the kickoff goal. Fane with the attempt. Renko brings it away, and Renko going forward once more. C squared is going to get it clear. Oh, the shot goes in. Conflict able to clear it off of a very dangerous position. Renko going forward, trying to create the game for Cool with the save once more. So close. 22 seconds already in overtime. Have absolutely flown by. Neither side able to find the net just yet. C squared coming forward into the corner. Gets the demo on Jerku, which might be quite important. Fane trying to keep this alive. Another demo is going to leave them very short at the back here. Cool, surely with a shot. It can't quite find a teammate. It's still alive though. C squared can't beat Conflicts. And now Renko with a chance for a redirect. Renko gets the redirect, and we get a game 5.
Mistakes from Embry, look so in control. And Tom, there is a chance for this team to try get a reverse sweep. They've managed to figure out in this game 4, Jerku picking up a double savior medal. 6 saves on the board, keeping this side in it. And oh my, what a storyline this would be. We've seen players step up from Carbo across the games. Just look at Jerku and Renko absolutely stepping up. Renko getting all 3 goals, and Jerku holding down the backline. Conflict just being there as a rock for this side, keeping them in it. And they have found themselves in this game 5. I've not been able to cast a reverse sweep this entire season through play-ins and playoffs. Every team that I have casted has choked when it mattered. And Tom, do you think we're going to see one now?
No, I don't, to be honest. I'm just going to quickly go out and say it. They were quite lucky in that game. Both teams were lucky in that game. And I think winning 3 in a row might just be beyond this Carbo side. I think. I hate to be cynical. I don't think they've done anything wrong. I just think in order to get that reverse sweep, it just creates something a little bit extra. I mean, there's a reason you, in all of your casting, haven't been able to see one. I haven't been able to see one either. I'm going to be cynical. I'm going to be realistic and say this is still a mammoth task for Carbo. However, the momentum's certainly with them after that last game. I'm happy to be proven wrong as well.
As we do try get into game 5 now, we do tick down into kickoff for this historical stadium. Everything is on the line for both of these sides. The reverse sweep for Carbo and Embry to try send themselves forward. They looked absolutely poised to go ahead and sweep this series. Carbo able to find their form so far. Conflict just trying to get some pressure early on. C squared trying to clear the ball, but Carbo going with a bit more of an aggressive approach so far. Pass into the middle for Jerku is cut out. But once again, the counter-attack Rocket League that we have seen from both these sides coming out early. Renko stretching for the ball, has boost, has time. Managed to get the flip reset, but just no contact off the ball. Cool, floating down, 50-15 with Conflict here. Trying to get the ball towards this Carbo net, trying to get some pressure. But so far, Tom, it's just so back and forth.
Already a minute gone, almost. And neither side really able to break the blockade of each other's defences. Cool going to give it a go. Jerku with a good clear for Renko, who gets the proper clear in the end. Right downfield. Fane will try and bring it forward, but Jerku beats him to it. C squared unable to quite bring it away into the centre. Renko with the shot. It's just a little bit beyond him. Cool gets the medal, and now it's really up. Oh no, he's missed the open goal. He was looking for his teammate and he should have just gone for the shot. My word, that might be something they go on to ruin, perhaps even immediately, as there is finally a demo. C squared trying to make up for his teammate's mistake. That was so close.
Oh, so crucial to get that goal there. Looking for the pass, trying to be selfless. He should have taken that for himself. It would have put Embry ahead. As Fane left on the goal line now, trying to clear the ball away. All players from Carbo trying to get the ball towards this net, trying to get themselves on the board early. Fane touching the ball into the path of C squared, has time, trying to send this ball into the center. Gets it across, Fane is there for it, but blocked out by Jerku. Too tight of an angle, Cool. Has time, but rushed out. Conflict trying to clear the ball, misses. Renko is in this, popping it dangerously into midfield. There's no one there for Carbo. Fane trying to find his teammates, place it in the middle of them. Cool, trying to get forward, but demo coming out on Fane in the back line would have been crucial if reversed, but Renko does have time on the ball. trying to catch the ball off his pop, but immediately rushed out. Players committing forward. Very lucky touch from C-Squared to get that way. Double commit could have caused so many issues for Embry. Conflict has boost, has the ball, has the wall. Trying to go off the ceiling now. Managed to get over one. Trying to pop it down to the middle. Renko is there. Conflict putting the team on his back and putting them ahead in Game 5.
This is incredible. As someone asking in chat, is this a lower, or is there a lower bracket here? No, this is one life, and the one life for Embry might just be fading away at the moment. They're 1-0 down in this Game 5 that they really shouldn't have taken themselves to, but needing a big performance now. A huge pinch from Cool, goes forward, can't find a teammate. Jerku off the line, C-Squared now off the backboard, looks for a teammate. Fane with the shot, and Jerku able to get it saved. I said they were going to go on to Rue. That horrific miss, I think we'll just call it as it is, as now Renko almost with an opportunity. C-Squared does very well. He comes forward now. Fane with the shot. He goes for a bit of a sort of shot and just gets it missed in the end. Fane though trying to go forward once more. Conflict saves it off the line, gets his save. That's back up again. Season might be ending here for Embry if they can't find something in the next minute and 45 as Cool comes forward down this left hand side. Jerku back from a demo is able to clear it away. Fane though on the right hand side now with a shot, he gets it, and with a minute and 35 to go they are level.
Fane reimbursing the mistake that came earlier. Brilliant link-up play with C-Squared. You can see the chemistry that they have developed over their time in RSC and be able to accumulate in this 10th season. Looking ever so brilliant, but transfer a kickoff goal and a wrong 50-50 immediately cutting out the chance that was made. Fane just getting the wrong side of the ball. An easy goal for Renko. Just bounces in. So unfortunate. Embry having to try and get themselves level again.
It's actually unbelievable as we get back underway. Embry did everything right, and then all of a sudden everything wrong in the next space of 5 seconds. C-Squared trying to bring this forward. Two of them commit to the 50-50. Renko back with the ball, trying to make it 3. He can't quite make it 3. They are trying for what would be an incredible reverse sweep. Jerku coming forward. And now a chance for Conflict. He can't quite get to the ball. Renko gets the shot away. It pops up and goes away from him. Fane back forward. Jerku able to put in a good 50-50 that just brings the ball away. Managed to find Conflict and then Cool with the shot. Renko on the line. Gets yet another save. That's his second of the game. 4 shots down the other end to get his brace. Jerku coming forward. Able to clear it off the backboard is Fane. This is so close into the last 43 seconds now. Cool coming forward, it's into the centre. Conflict gets it clear once more. Embry needs something in these last 30 seconds. They need it quickly to try and force an overtime.
Countdown. We do hear 30 seconds remaining echoing around the arena, and that is all the time that Embry have to try get back into this. C-Squared denying what would have been the nail in the coffin. We do count down into the final 20. Cool has time, pops the ball long, trying to find Fane. Managed to get a 50 with Renko. Cool has time on the ball in a 1v1. Has C on his left, trying to get the delivery set on the defender, but read away. We do have the countdown. Jerku playing the ball slow, playing this ever so well tactically. The ball is high in the air. Conflict trying to kill it, and we finally have it. A reverse sweep on stream led by Renko and Jerku. A brilliant assist from Conflict to bring themselves back into contention in Game 5. And Carbo so well deservedly managed to take the series.
It's Flash.
Well, yes,
We're back
yet
again
another
with another Rocket League cinema video.
bad prediction
This time,
on my end. I said the reverse sweep was going to be difficult. I said
This
I didn't
arena
think
captures
they were
everything
going to be able to
competitive
do it,
about
but they
Rocket
have gladly
Even holding the names of
proven
the
me
past winners
wrong.
of RLCS,
What
so
a
I'm
performance from
definitely excited
Carbo.
for this one.
However,
These cinema
I
videos
just want
are
to address the
100%
elephant
free
in the
use
room
without credit.
very quickly.
Make sure to let
and
me know when
that
you use
is
them so I can check out your
that
work.
Embry
As
mistake,
always,
that
make sure to
open goal.
like the
I
video
think
and
it
hit the
was
subscribe button.
Cool,
I appreciate
wasn't
all the
it?
support.
Didn't
See you
able
next
to
time.
turn it home, and that's frustrating.
Fane. I think it was Fane that he knocked it into the post, and he was looking for the pass. Should have taken it himself. He was able to get redemption with that goal. Just wasn't enough. It could have been different if they took the lead. They just let it get ahead of them. But next up, we do have Anarchy, who will be facing Carbo. Not done for the evening for them. The winner of that match will find themselves in. I believe it will be a different casting pair that will be taking us over. So that will be us for the evening will be Danny Boy and Psycho dropping in to cause some havoc. Brilliant series coming out, and Tom, any final words for our viewers?
Well, it's going to be a very interesting next series, isn't it, between Anarchy and Cargo. Cargo was commentating on it for 48 minutes now when I get their name wrong. But going to be a very interesting series indeed. Someone in chat, Forrest Wolfie, has said it almost perfectly, that Anarchy are going to be difficult opponents. They've just had to reverse sweep Embry, and an Embry team that, despite playing quite well in those first 2 games, they didn't seem too keen to get the victory in that final one. And, well, Carbo scraping past them. It's only going to get more difficult from here.
Well, that will be it from us. Luckily, there is more for the evening. 2 more series. Hopefully, us two will be able to return at some point. But hope everyone has a good rest of the series. And best of luck to Carbo, who will be facing against Anarchy after a short break.
can see you cannot stand it. All I know the flow harder than a Scotch bonnet. Don't try study me, you cannot manage. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. Yeah, you better listen. I'm bringing heat, you'll be a fan when I start rapping the way I'll have your fucking head spinning. I'm known as spit vicious, release bombs and go tick tick. Boom, you blown me that head missing. I'm a phenomenon, stacking cheese like it's Parmesan. 8 different flows, call me Octomom. I'm moving fast like the Autobahn, and I'm independent, so I'm not your fucking starving like it's Ramadan. Sick, twisted, gifted, can't copy, printed, can't hold me down. I shape shift, I'm liquid. I killed this beat, I might get convicted. They know how I move, it was predicted. Persistent, spoke it into existence, so consistent, no assistance. Hear me once, become addicted. If I rap it, then I live it. There's no cap when I be speaking. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon. This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.
So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay, won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. Coming for the throne. Coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. I assumed
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the RSC. The European scene is hotting up and in its elite, and my word, this is going to be a special night. And Psycho, I am looking for this. Before we get the potty poppers ready, how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely great, Danny, and as you say, today is a pretty special occasion, not just because of the gameplay we're going to be watching today, But also, something happened yesterday. Would you like to tell us about it, Danny?
It is the oldest man in RSC has finally grown of age. He's a big 3'3", 33, and it is Archeon himself, the head poncho, the admin, has decided to grow up a bit further. So it does mean I do get to call him old once more again.
Absolutely. So a happy birthday to Archeon. I know you're probably not watching this because you're preparing for the matchup, which is soon to come. And also on his birthday, I did give him bit of a special surprise as well. I managed to have a look over his gameplay, criticise him firmly, so hopefully he's going to be hot and ready for the occasion today and show us what he's made of.
You're telling me that he had a CRL world contending person coaching him who's been near enough at the echelon at the top end of our esports, and you give him a happy birthday gift of free coaching?
It's essentially how it works, yeah, so hopefully he doesn't disappoint me, otherwise I will be bitterly disappointed myself. But either way, Danny, we have on display a matchup from the play-in round number 2. Anarchy versus Carbo. Anarchy being the team housing the birthday man himself, Archeon, and they're playing against Carbo, the team which was just on display prior to our short break.
Well, certainly looking good, as well as we are approaching near enough our kicking point as well. So we might as well briefly look at the statistics if needs be, if you want, Psycho. And I think, well, team statistics to kick things off with, there's a few minor points that could be worthwhile. And in the grand scheme of things, it might just be a sort of a somber night, maybe, for Archeon's team itself. They should be doing a lot better, but I think that might be a blessing in disguise there.
Yeah, absolutely. And these two teams on paper very evenly matched, coming out of their respective conferences as the 4th and the 5th seeds. The 4th seed, of course, belonging to the team of Anarchy. And both of these teams on paper, again, not performing to the standards they perhaps liked in league play, but they're coming forwards, pushing forwards to this play-in bracket as teams which are potentially dark horses. And having seen the gameplay of both of these rosters now, it is pretty evident that there is a close level of competition between these two teams.
Well, certainly so. And if you are just listening to the audio version or audio and said, why not? What's the gameplay too? I highly suggest it, because tonight will be special. I'll guarantee that for North. And goals are pretty much average, should be statistically even throughout. That does mean we might as well look at the player stats as well too. And frankly, Psycho, we talk about Archeon being this sort of big man, the big sort of heavy hitter. I think it's also fair to point out the fairly obvious bit of this side as well in this team. And frankly, statistically, you might be going 24-16. That doesn't add up quite right. It does to Jason quite heavily. So a new team really much got formed and somehow slipped into this play-in scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think regardless of what the statistics say, there is roles played by the players on each of these rosters. So, for example, on the side of Anarchy, you have a team composition which is very much conventional. You have your typical striker in the name of Archeon, who's usually sitting back in that third man position, just waiting to pounce on all of those loose opportunities that present themselves. And you've got players such as Monkey Mode and Serenity who are driving that pressure, and they're the driving forces of their team who are going to be putting home the goals.
Well, certainly so. Speaking of the goals itself and what they could be moving on here, we know, frankly, the archaic side itself here of the old grey-haired man is waiting in the lobby. I believe Carbo's just taking a moment too to rest themselves and get themselves ready for this matchup. With that being the case, and I think what might need to be required at these moments of time here is that both sides here are just showing up here to each at the lobby, and there may have been a slight confusion between both captains. We are getting that sort of technical difficulties sorted out here. So if anybody is tuning in at the moment, that's why the delay is right now. But Psycho, we might as well touch more on the topic of the fact that you were doing the coaching in the first place. What is sort of the main element that we should be looking out for tonight?
Well, the key thing you should be looking out for is the style that each of these teams are approaching with and how that might play a part in the grander scheme of the series, especially in the opening games. And I think a theme across this entire elite play-ins is that each of these teams has quite a conventional style. You have those players which will be more gravitating towards that third man role, that first man role, even that second man role. You have those splits in the players specifically. So what you need to be looking out for is what they're doing outside of that conventional rotation. What they're doing off of the ball when it comes to their aggression, with the demolitions, with the rotations back. How are each of these teams' styles going to impact their performances?
Well, certainly so, and we'll be looking for quite a lot of things as well, and I think it would be interesting how that sort of combination of everything gets in together. Psycho, the only bit that I'm slightly worried about here is Carbo has literally came out of a win here. They've shown they're comfortable enough to dictate the gameplay, especially being 2-0 down in the series wide. There still is a lot on offer for them.
Absolutely, there's a great deal on offer for them, and Anarchy, as I said, potentially a dark horse that can throw a spanner in the works, but Carbo, a roster of which we have just seen clutch up a very crucial win in the previous series where they were previously trailing 2-1 in the series overall, made that comeback to make it 3-2 at the end of the day, and have seen themselves through to the situation on our screens now.
Well, certainly so, and we'll be looking for the situation to have an answer. Who is going to be bold enough to etch their name into the playoffs? That will be certainly interesting enough. And after much debacle around the statistics about potential play styles, about what could happen, Psycho, we will find who will be joining the playoffs tonight.
Absolutely, and it's an exciting occasion indeed. On the side of Anarchy, actually, something very surprising as an initial goal flies in early doors, 6 seconds into the roster off of a play from Monkey Mode as he touches it over one, and Joseph there to follow up. But Danny, there's a pretty big name missing in this lobby. I don't know if you've seen what that is.
Well, I've certainly so. And I must say, I had one request for tonight, or this entire league section, as I wanted to catch the birthday boy of yesterday, the big man himself, and he's not on the pitch.
He's done you a massive disservice there, hasn't you? I think you should demand an immediate refund for this casting session, Danny, as all of our criticisms are going to have to be directed elsewhere, which is pretty unfortunate.
Well, I'm going to cry myself to sleep, knowing that he wasn't starting this matchup. Maybe we might see an actual transfer or substitution of one of these three players. Maybe he just feels like he might have to give the limelight to his younger teammates, and if they are starting the way they have done so with the early goal and the pressure that follows suit here, can you blame the birthday boy of old?
Well, so far, Danny, I do hate to say it, but it seems like it's a decision which has paid dividends, as the Anarchy squad to an absolutely flying start just a minute into this game number one, and they've already created 2 offensive opportunities that have been converted as conflict now in the corner. Able to touch it past one, but the defense is going to be there in the name of Serenity as he takes it up to the backboard, trying to lunge for a double touch. Joseph with an open net to shoot at, sadly couldn't convert a third.
A bit of a shame here, Monkey Mode himself here trying to find a reasonable attempt here, and frankly I'm shocked by how deep that this side in red here has found themselves in, and Carbo should really be finding an option of just launching the ball straight downfield at some point. They have eventually got to the stage here as Joseph has decided to pop the ball in an unusual fashion, but it will pay, at least for now here, as the attacking is almost jittery. There's no real smooth sense of play here, but that's fabulous. Up and around, 2-1.
2-1, as quick as that. The tides have turned around as Renko, with a lot of space to work with, has wisely baited in that third defender to a challenge of which there was no support beneath. Anarchy, even though they established that control early on, already showing a brief crack, a brief chink in the armour there by the form of their last man positioning, as Joseph now is going to have to try and make amends for his prior mistake. Jerku off the wall now, trying to get some control of his own. Beat Monkey Mode perhaps, but it's cut away at the last second. Renko strikes loose on an open net. Of course it was for a second, Danny.
Nearly so, but while this ball's being played away from the corner here, I must ask you, Seiko, since you were coaching this side here, was there a situation that Archeon himself wasn't in those scrims, or the replays themselves here? Is this a lineup that we are actually seeing for the first time here, potentially?
Well, for many of the viewers in chat, perhaps this is a roster they've seen before, but all the replays I was looking over just yesterday, none of them had this particular composition. So a lot of questions to be answered, and stylistically this trio is very different to the Anarchy lineup which has played prior. Monkey Mode and Joseph both being very hyper-aggressive players, if you like, who really do like to throw in a challenge or two, and Joseph almost cherry-picking in the positions that I was seeing him in the replays yesterday.
A huge difference on what they've showed us in game one here, at least in terms of having the sensible head, not going for the absolute unnecessary 3-1 through very much a controlled style play here from his own back lines. And maybe the former GM Archeon is actually smarter and outwicked the entirety of RSC combined here by not playing tonight. Maybe the retirement home is where he truly belongs.
Stay where you belong, Archeon. Stay where you belong, because your team's doing you proud at the moment, and, well, that's good enough, surely. Serenity trying to work down the field, but doesn't manage to get the dunk on Conflict as he gets a pretty ambitious challenge. Monkey Mode doing exactly the same thing as he tries to drive a ball central, but there is going to be a man filled in at the front post to see that one clear. It's Joseph with a poor touch, it has to be said, to Conflict. Serenity once again bailing out his team.
I love how you use the phrase, it has to be said. You know me too well, Seiko. It would have been said all right on this broadcast as this ball propped up here. There might be a chuckle here and there, but right now Carbo will be the side who will be deeply disappointed by their opening performance, especially from a reverse weak position, as Joseph will just tip this one away. The real question is, can the game management side be put into action here?
And so far, so good, it must be said, for Anarchy. Trio, some questions that had to be answered. Monkey Mode's going to try and take to the air, but he's blocked away ever so quickly by the looming defender, as Joseph now tries to work his way past one. Serenity back central towards Joseph, once again in that cherry-pick position, trying to find a teammate central, as Monkey Mode can only get a touch over to the right-hand side of the field. And at the moment, it really does seem a dominating affair in terms of the general possession game, as Serenity with a lot of open control and a lot of open space, a lot of breathing room to deal with. Fortunately for him, couldn't strike one in the net then.
Certainly so, and I have to give credit here to Monkey Moon, my apologies. I knew that was going to happen at some point, but the monkey, whatever way you want, just to address him, was a smart play from him. He realised that the play was done, rotated the way back. Yes, it's easy to say when you're 3-1 up, you can play a bit more safer than you normally would. But I've got to say, Seiko, this side, who frankly you shouldn't be playing well based on statistics, based on the fact that they haven't formed for any length of time, this is the most solid team I've seen so far this season, based in the play-ons or the playoff sections. Maybe the exception to the champions of Challenger, but that's how good they've been playing so far.
Honestly, it's such a surprise to me that this roster, who I've never seen play before, and I certainly don't think had any time at all together in league play, maybe like bar 1 or 2 matches, are putting on such a solid showcase at the moment. In offense, they seem to be completely dominating when it comes to their control and how they're rotating around each other to keep that offense flowing. And even at the back, no signs of cracks whatsoever. The players positioning in support where they need to be at the right times. Arbo at the moment, they have a lot of work to do.
They do, and I must say it's going to be frustrating somewhat, because you know you've came out, you played well to get to the stage, Carbo, and yet they haven't been able to really play from the back themselves here in terms of the same standard. It wasn't until game 3 arguably even game 4 before we start seeing any major sort of play develop from them. We'll see, however, in game 2, can they actually maybe show us what they were capable of and deserve at least one of the 2 spots in the playoffs as the plays already unfolded. And I hate to say it, it's pretty much the same other than this one fling up field here, and that there should have been a big chance buried.
Oh, and as you're saying, Danny, a big chance certainly buried from Jerky. Was the touch up not made by Conflict as he wanted, but Renko is going to be the player slicing it over to the backboard, and it works all the same at the end of the day. Absolutely no risk in committing that third man for the shot. Straight home it goes.
Oh, it's going to be one of those nights when the calls just not accurate, at least in terms of the casting booth here, but the play on the field paying off Senery, mind you. Lost control. I haven't said that near enough all of game number 1 here. Will it continue to sleep on through here since they've just conceded for the first time as Renko with one touch straight up. No straight block here, and that ball will have time to run, time to breathe, and hammered right on through. I think that momentarily blip is all what it was.
Absolutely, and Jerku just caught off his line just a little bit. Perhaps Conflict thinking, there's a dude behind me, we're absolutely fine. Wasn't meant to be. Serenity with a suffocating chase downfield has managed to squeeze one into that upper left-hand corner as he's going to take to the skies once again off of a back right kickoff. I was going to say left. Depends on your point of view. We don't know which way the camera was looking. One of the two. But Joseph striking towards a semi-open net. 2 defenders, one at the front, one at the back. Neither able to cover the middle.
Nice to know that this defence didn't know between their lefts and right. One went both directions and they couldn't even get that ball out of the bottom right corner. And Carbo, after leading the second game, very much comfortable for about 10 seconds, have already started the trail. Oh my, this might be a difficult night for them.
Absolutely, and you know what? Sometimes I already have the answers firmly planted in my head when it comes to what a team is crucially doing wrong. I feel one of these series, well, this series particularly, is going to be a difficult one for Carbo, because even I can't think of the answers as Jerku finding a double touch out of nowhere. Monkey Moon Mac to Serenity on the backboard, and similar words slip up from me there, Danny, as Monkey Mode touches back central. Joseph pouncing on a shot, cannot find the upper 90.
It's easy to slip into old habits here. And that's its one pop-up. Nice demo, big bump as well too. But where was the second man? Conflict has to have been pushed that ball. Had to believe, and yet did not do either of those 2 things. And suddenly the 2 might be a crucial point. Still 2-1 trailing Carbo from their own back half again. They're still stuck in the same problem.
Yeah, and at the moment, they're trying to bait in just one attacker, get past them and focus on their offense, but it's simply not working for them. At the moment, Anarchy taking complete control over the possession game as Joseph trying to find the bottom corner. It's just pushed shy from the defense. It's Jerku now beating out Monkey Mode, and Conflict's up nice and quick, goes for the reset off the backboard, cannot get to grips with a second touch, and it's going to leave their team very, very open to a counter-attacking opportunity as Renko now back to the wall, back to safety for now.
And Monkey just tips that one away here, and from what we talked about that needed to have been done for Carbo as a roster, as a lineup, is again, it's a question that's rattling on the top of our heads here, as I've just conceded the third one. Mind you, Psycho, I don't think we can fault the side here, what Serenity and Monkey has put together. And to be fair, Joseph, you told him as a sort of cherry picker role. I think that would be unfairly sort of rude to the man at the moment. He's been playing his role sensibly. The team's been playing shockingly well, and people might be surprised that I would be saying such a thing tonight, but they have been.
Absolutely, and I think we were both coming into this broadcast fully expecting to be rinsing Anarchy with all the criticisms we can come up with. Absolutely none today, as Joseph just toying with his food at the moment, trying to find the centre of the field to put home a fourth. Zerenko wisely taking his time over collecting that ball, but still cannot best one, even slowing the play down, working for these safe 50-50s in the corner, is not baiting out this strong offensive rotation.
Big questions here as this rotation has been solid throughout. Just unfortunately met their conflict there. It could have been 4-1 from a quick ball downfield here. Backboard open, not happening. Conflict just has to get a block, and he decides to remove himself from the play with a big wide open net behind him. Wise, some would say, and if you are, well, I'm a bit questioning what a wise person in your definition is. It's 3-1.
And absolutely questions asked from myself as well, as Conflicts finally has been granted the gift of open space from his teammate Renko. In the midfield, a fantastic shot towards the upper 90, and well, for Anarchy, there wasn't too much they could do to defend that situation, and perhaps that little bit of suffocating offense on the defense has found a crack that they otherwise wouldn't have.
Joseph move up center equals with a quick pop here. Monkey one touch as well, so a 2v1 has presented, and the one is mightier than the two. Pops it up beautifully. Unfortunately, not able to get the connection here. It is a bit fast and loose, but with time against you infield, nobody touches the ball in the center of that box. It was planted right for both sides. As Conflict now once more over infield, it's set up for Sanity to get the clear. Somebody has to score it. Finally 3-3.
And the crack that otherwise would not have been found has been exploited for a second time in a row. Serenity not positioned right to be able to read that backboard bounce. And well, Carbo had so many questions to answer. We've answered one of them. How do we formulate some offense? Just use the backboard. It seems to be working for the time being. Boom those ball long, see what happens.
Welcome to the old-fashioned caveman speak. Boom, ball, see, bang, oh, net. Is that where we got to?
Absolutely, we're back to square one, aren't we? The golden age of Rocket League. Still works to this day.
I wouldn't say C2 because he's been knocked out.
Poor guy. He didn't deserve that, Danny.
He didn't, but he lost. Ah well, it's still 3-3 in his OT in game number 2.
A monkey mode, striking middle. It looks like the open space is there, but someone clambering on the backboard has just about managed to get a hand on that. Jerky with a very dangerous touch, it must be said, infield direct to his opposition. It's Joseph. Inbound manages to get a reset off of pretty much nothing. Renko working down the field. He needs to try and beat one player, but has only just thrown himself way out the equation. One player on defense to deal with. Jerku is strong enough to deal with it on that occasion.
It's nice to see that he has found the strength. Unlike Archeon, who's still in his bed in the retirement home, he still hasn't shown up to this match as the minute in his OT still around here. Conflict is the name and the nature of my mood right now with that big man who is unfortunately the head admin. So if you don't see me after this broadcast, you know why. As Conflict up and around and nothing being put on target. Big surprise there as we're now seeing Joseph fling himself towards the ball. And no surprise, we didn't see the ball going into the corner.
Well, it has found the corner eventually, but there's again open space left in the midfield. Two defenders firmly rooted inside the net. Joseph did all he could to push it back to safety, but Serenity, once again I have to say, caught out in no man's land there. Couldn't provide the pressure that was needed, and ultimately Carbo with a fantastic recovery into this game.
Certainly so, and I'm going to go one step further. I say Sanity's was the worst player in game number 2. Failed the backboard read, didn't put it to safety, wasn't on the wall ready for the potential shot where that was ideally positionally placed if you were going to thump it in the way it was presented. And we now find ourselves in the moment that this Anarchy side is, well, not Anarchy, it's very controlled, basic and simple. They might need a rebrand here, Cycle, because we've got everything bar that.
You're right in saying that, and you know what? Usually I don't call out specific player performances in terms of the statistical point of view, but Jerku put on one hell of a show that last game. 940 odd points to his name. He was carrying his team through thick and thin with the open nets that needed to be put where they were put and the saves on the back line. But nonetheless, we have found ourselves with a very interesting series on our hands. Anarchy initially taking complete control of this series, with Carbo having to think about how they approach their play and how they can get themselves some opportunities pretty much from thin air. They've done exactly that.
I would agree with you. It's not normally I would agree with even a compliment to a player, but he certainly stood up to the performance that was required for his team, because it certainly did not come in game one. And finally, they've solved that little Rubik's Cube of a problem as that shot moves in, and Saturday, that was diabolical. The keeper shouldn't be beat on his near post, and he was there.
Oh, the phrase that your good friend hates so much. Just had to throw it in, didn't you? But you're absolutely right in saying that. Serenity firmly rooted at the front post. Just a little bit too far forwards and couldn't get a touch. Well, he could get a touch straight into his own net.
Disappointments. Played so well at one point.
The tables, they definitely turn. Much to your surprise, Danny, I'm sure.
And hopefully we'll see the table finally planted up onto something more stable, where the spirit level will show even it is on the main due to series-wise reflection. But Anarchy, mentally, they must feel down in the dumps somewhat here, as that ball has been frankly dumped to their back lines. They're finally blocked at the mid-lane here. A bit of presence on the pitch at last.
Presence indeed, and Joseph is going to try and make a difference of his own, albeit with no boost in the tank to follow through on his close touch, as Serenity showing off some mechanics of his own, but it's so easily read from Jerk, who was up so early. As soon as the first touch was made, he knew where he was going, he got the interception done, and Joseph trying to dance around Conflict. Serenity up nice and early, hopefully can find a ball central for his teammate, but he's opted for another touch and bested him as well. Conflict now, a lot of space in the air, works it through to Renko. The space in the offense has presented itself for this Carbo, just to give them a momentary time to breathe, a little bit of space to work with to create their own opportunities.
Double commit there, and a bad pass has resulted in this ball, mind you, going straight back down the Carbo's net. Will be met by Sanity. You see Joseph's on the rotating back monkey there as well too, but he even decides to scarper a backwards pass. I don't mind the idea, but the delivery of it, woeful. Needs to do better, must do better, as the pressure now building against their back wall here. It has been tipped to the side here. That was still under the control here. And at one stage here, who's going to be bold enough to play it out? Well, we did have that question removed off the pitch though.
Absolutely, and it was a bit of a turn of pace, that Conflict. Ooh, I thought he was going to maybe best Joseph and challenge the third man, but the touch wasn't good. Renko is only going to hand possession, recycle it straight back to Monkey Mode, who's beaten not just one but two players. Jerku was called into question with a ceiling touch. Joseph with a little whiff on that occasion as the ball ricochets off the wall straight back central. Conflict hopefully is able to best this last defender with a booming clearance, and well, we talked about the golden age of Rocket League, and it's certainly coming back to fruition.
How dare you suggest that's the golden age of Rocket League? Also, old players are insulted by that phrase, Psycho.
The traditional style. Hit it long, hope your opponent's mechanics aren't good enough to see it through. We really are talking about the golden age here, the pioneering age. It certainly seems to be working for Carbo.
Oh, I must prefer the age of hopping and flicking the ball was the only mechanics that you need, but that's dating back before season 1, as that shot, mind you, will be predated. That, however, should have been tipped to the least of the post there. Joseph getting away with one. While we reminisce of the old times, Joseph is too busy in the present.
Absolutely, and it was well worked indeed off the side of the field, straight back to the infield. Joseph called into question exactly when he was needed, was able to put one in the back of the net. The timer is ticking down. There isn't too much time for Anarchy to be able to find themselves another free opportunity. And almost as I had the thought in my head, Danny, Monkey Mode with a lunge out, Serenity bumping not just one but two defenders. A full team effort to see that one through.
First time in a while that Sanity had a meaningful hit. It wasn't a ball, it was two cars, and it's paid off to the advantage of this blue side, chasing that deficit there. Will it get better for the night? Well, he has to get this ball. He does this time around. He must be happier with himself now. Stepped up in a big way for his team here as Monkey just pinches that one to the side, and that touch there could present a double commit, mind you. Tut.
Oh, it looks awkward.
It is
was
awkward.
Certainly was. I just had to hold my tongue a second because I had no idea what I was about to watch. Renko just about seeing that one side of his back lines. The third man committing for the side of Anarchy, but he's up so quickly it doesn't matter, even though it looked like the bad decision, or the wrong decision, mind you. As the ball pinging off the side of the field, met centrally by Jerku as he booms it downfield. Monkey trying to get any sort of touch he can, and it's spelt near disaster for his team. Serenity pulled up for another backboard read. Been going too well for him so far, but he managed to see that one away, and finally a loose third man commit, which can be considered the wrong decision, has actually ended up in disaster.
Oh, cycle. I don't want to even discuss what happened. My boil is boiling right now with that treble. Or sorry, the third man commit. We've seen it once, we've seen it twice. And not one person smart enough to be in the right position. You need an old man with a lot of experience to play in these games. And Archeon didn't show up, neither has the defense in this last minute. And it's cost, and Carbo as a roster taking the benefit of it to move 2-1 surely in this series.
Absolutely, and as you're going through that dialogue, I was wondering if you wanted to go back to the glory days of playing on the field, Danny, but almost forgot about the old man in the back room watching these two teams play at the moment. I imagine with his hands over his mouth, just wondering how the tables have been able to turn quite so quickly, and how Carbo have fully established a foothold over this series.
Certainly so. If I was on the pitch, Psycho, I think everybody'd be laughing based on how old my decal is, never mind my play style, still in 2015, if that. But we will be seeing an update here. I'm waiting for my screen to update with the great news, and hopefully that will be the case here, so it's not somebody trying to wind me up somewhat here, Psycho. But what we have seen is Carbo greatly improved. They've got themselves in the positions, and they've capitalised on it. They need to be, however, smarter within the game. They can't afford to keep knocking themselves down and let cheap goals in, and it's cost them near enough games at times so far tonight.
Absolutely, and well, Carbo, as you say, did make an astonishing return to form, especially over the last couple of games, and the way they've been working their offense has been completely different to what we saw from them in Game 1, because they simply had no offense to give. They were suffocated by Anarchy, and as soon as they've been able to flip the coin and see the other side of the perspective, they've actually been able to show themselves as a dominating side, and I believe there is a little bit of antics going on the field. We're going to have a look at what the roster for Anarchy is going to be, and I believe we have some exciting news, Danny.
We certainly do. The care home has finally kicked out its long-term patient in the form of Archeon. They've decided to remove the drip so he's able to be mobile in his wheelchair for potentially the last time in his playing career, and he should have stayed there. His team has conceded within 6 seconds in a play-in set of a match-off. My word, the man might just be almost too old to move. A bit of WD-40 required.
Oh, the poor man, he's just got on the field. He's just had a whole speech delivered in his favour. Well, not quite in his favour, but a whole speech
in his favour? What?
delivered for him.
It wasn't for him, it was for everybody else.
Well, alright, there really is no saving grace, is there? There was nothing positive to be said. There's nothing positive on the field.
He's the oldest player in RSC, and he's also the worst player in the RSC.
Oh, I was really hoping he could score there, just so we had a conflicting set of emotions as Monkey Mode. Able to see a goal pretty much from nothing, as Jerku was actually the deliverer of the pass to recycle possession straight back in the hands of Anarchy. And a good shot, it must be said.
It was really nice to see Jerko hold Archeon's hand when he goes for that ball as well too. Very nice that RSC is helping its pensioners play in such a crucial match here. We might see more of that as well too. It is 1-1 and Archeon has decided to go for the boost. He must be tea time at the care home. He's gone off the pitch here. He's finally picked up that 100 boost and he's done nothing with it.
Well, I have to say, Danny,
saved the ball! And he's missed it where he should have put it.
I'm so upset.
I'm not. Oh, I'm going to be removed tonight, Alpha.
We're both goners.
No, you might be safe.
The thing is, I'm with you, so...
Oh yeah, that's true.
All the bad attitude is going to rub off on me as well, so my career's doomed before it's
Oh,
even
I
begins.
wouldn't say that fellow casters in the career in the scene has been the unfortunate bit of rubbing off. Spooks, I know, is in chat, and well, his career's been ruined by alongside me for at least a year, or is it longer than that?
Well, time will tell how my reputation develops with you on board, Danny, but nonetheless, we do still have a game on our hands, believe it or not. Archeon in the corner, manages to best one attacker, retreating back to his care home in the net, just going to park the bus straight up there as Monkey Mood trying to do all the offense forwards and only go as far as Renko. The ball now tiptoeing its way back into the offensive end, and Jehu almost besting a single defender. Renko now hunting for the flip reset. Two players committed. Archeon bringing out the fisticuffs and smacking his teammate across the field, and you know what? It's presented their team a fantastic offensive opportunity.
That didn't have him actively participating in hitting the ball or moving it up. Yes, his team has done very well of scoring the second goal for this roster that was trailing and still is in the series, mind you. They've tied the things up here, and the old man's kick-off, well, it's almost like he was trying to put his slippers on. It was a nice shuffle up to the ball here. Monkey with a decent pop up here, and Archeon, what will you do? Will you go for the ball? He's waited patiently. Now the big man steps up, big hit downfield, but he cannot get it any further. Will need support here by his young compadres here at half-time, mind you. This is a crucial defensive manoeuvres required.
Oh, and a crucial defensive save is going to be needed just about now as Serenity is going to get the job done. How is that not a goal? How is that not a goal? We will never know. Serenity working his way downfield on the side of the field, needs to best one defender, can't manage it. I think Archeon also has the gods on his side tonight, because we easily can
No, he doesn't, because I'm on the broadcast tonight.
Well, you'd be the devil, and I'm sure there's a god smiling upon him.
Well,
somewhere.
you could be the god.
Yes! There we go. The god's certainly smiling now. Archeon, he is a difference maker, Danny. You can say that just about now.
Ah, you could say it. I certainly won't be. With 3-2. A crucial goal, mind you. With 2 minutes left here, it's just a case of holding on to this very much a slender 1-goal margin.
Monkey Mode trying to deliver some offense of his own, and Serenity. Lots of mechanics to this player's name, but I fear so far in this entire series almost, he's not had the impact that's required. Speaking of impacts, he's given some there, but Carbo's defense completely out of shape. Conflict opting to slow down the play in this corner, opt for a 50-50, simply no support giving.
Are we speaking about Archeon's chair of interest or the defence? You need extra padding when you reach a certain age.
I really hope he fumbles this one. Archeon up in the air, trying to deliver a ball to the corner. Monkey Mode is going to be the player to see it through. Manages to best one defender. Can he get a bump in midair? Reaching, lunging for that opportunity. Doesn't make it happen, and Serenity at the back line has been caught completely in no man's land. How many times have we said that so far this broadcast? And admittedly, it was off the back of a dangerous double commit. This back line for Anarchy needs to return to tip-top shape.
Certainly does, and it was the first time as well Archeon wasn't in the back line to help out, so it just shows you how much the Mickey had been taken out of him, how serious and important for his team is required to play that certain role as much as The roster likes to play that really much the attacking style of play, as 60 seconds under round Sanity to make up his mains here. Doesn't really get much off the ball, and Archeon. Oh, well, I'll just leave that one there.
Serenity finding a ball, but is only going to cycle possession straight back to the opposition. Jerku missing an important touch. It's going to give Archeon some space to beat one defender, lunging to try and get past a second. Going into the corner, full position to actually create something for his team, and it's shown there as Serenity flinging the ball laterally across the field. Archeon is going to be able to get an important touch past the defender as a pinch comes through. This defense looking particularly open.
Well, with 15 seconds left, it's just keep the ball upfield here. Certainly for the side in blue, they won't be wanting to be blue in the face here. If this one goes in against them, Archeon, you have to get a touch here. Does so here. Sanity, well, he has done an improvement from last time. He's put it wide and far away from his net, resulting, mind you, a 4-3 game in the fourth. 2-2 in the series. It's amazing when an old-timer joins the field how much ability gets onto the field. And Archeon, with his walking stick, finally shows up. It is going to be a championship field match here for a decider.
Joy of a statement to say, and we've finally got it in this series. It's really been a two-sided affair. Carbo and Anarchy both having their moments, showing themselves to be the dominant team. This game seems to have absolutely flown by because I don't think there was a goal without mistakes in sight. Both of these teams seemed to be collapsing. Just couldn't find a foothold whatsoever when it came to their own defences. Exposed so many gaps, hence we had such a high-scoring affair. And you know what? When it comes to that final game in a series, you've got to make sure the tempo is in your favour. You've got to make sure you're solid. Anarchy and Carbo both have their work cut out.
Well, certainly so. With Anarchy, it'd be really more of a question. I was going to say for one particular side, Carbo will have to be put into this sort of moment of playing well, but there's extra pressure, especially in these matches where you just have to be solid. You don't want to do anything risky, you just want to play smart. And I don't think we might get two of those three qualities here. I'm just hoping for a slow opening 30 seconds, maybe 60. But Seiko, what a moment to be in here.
Absolutely. We've made our way to Champions Field, game number 5 between Anarchy and Carbo. Both dark horses in this Elite Play-ins competition, both fighting for glory to progress through this bracket. It's the early possession, all in favour of Carbo. Conflict drops it down to Renko, who's in an awkward position, cannot find an opening goal, and thankfully for you, Danny, 30 seconds almost having been elapsed now. Certainly some solidity at the moment.
No, it wasn't. Absolutely. A breakdown in defence, and all the shots there was hopeless. Could have had one better. We saw it in Challenge, we saw it in Prospect. Even yourself and I could do better in those key moments here, as that ball by Archeon needs to go round Sanity to help out. This 60 seconds needs to now ramp up with meaningful touches! And that's Sanity. He has been absent in the last 2 games. Finally maybe step it up.
It's Archeon, a little bit of a whiff there in monkey mode. Firmly at the back, trying to take his time. Bait in those defenders, but 2 have gone flying past our screens now as Renko tries to best the last defender, and the ball cementing itself in the blue side right now. Jerku is going to dip out of that one, and Conflict's going to be the player to mop up his mistakes. Go. Once again downfield to Jerku. He's going to try and find a touch. It's an out by Monkey.
Monkey, he's been spiralling nicely, and will be surely Archeon to take it. Nice control, pops it up, and he decides to shoot there. A little bit unwise there. Sanity, his turn now. Conflict, that's a decent clearance. Will buy a bit of time. The response, mind you, has to be better than the original boom. Doesn't happen. Insanity still floating, and the door was shut very much firmly there.
Absolutely, in monkey mode, slams the ball downfield to Archeon, who's going to touch it to the side to beat one defender at least. Monkey mode, pinching out Serenity up so quickly once again, but can he provide the impact he needs when he's up there? Is the question that's been on our minds so far this series. Archeon important dunk on the wall and also a demo of the player in question. Mode. All loose in the middle right now. Looks a little bit threatening for the back lines of Anarchy. And once again, the defense simply not there. There needed to be a player following up, and both of the defenders firmly rooted in no man's land. A simple bit of space given. The opportunity certainly there.
I wouldn't mind Archeon there, rotated on the back line, went into net, and ultimately didn't do what he had to and touch the ball there. Mind you, the other two is just guilty as each other there. Sanity's pass upfield, he was the one that tips it away. Now Archeon's turned straight down. Monkey, he just has to do the very much all the heavy lifting on that ball. Sanity back around, pops it, and that's a woeful pass. Archeon now his turn to tip it to the side here. Now all the pressure banging and banging into this blue half here. Monkey needs to get a touch of this one. Doesn't. Sanity bails him out.
It looks so sketchy at this back line at the moment. All of these players not comfortable holding positions, constantly on the move and constantly repositioning to the wrong places, as Archeon is going to push so aggressively for a ball that even he didn't know he could get a fingertip on. It's Monkey Mode now in the corner. Touches high past Complex. It looks like an opening opportunity, and Serenity is once again going to strike on the open space.
Big play required, and it suddenly appeared, but Conflict, dreadful takeoff for the touch there. Didn't know whether to go high or low and dropped to the ground like a penny in water. Centery now, mind you, off the kickoff, lost it outright, and Monkey to get this one downfield. Poised for both sides here to grab a winner here before regulation runs out, as that one tight, poised right into the middle of the pitch, surely.
Monkey Mode in the corner now is going to try. Well, I thought he was going to try and keep some control in his team's half. Opts to get rid of it. They're fed up with having to suffer in defense. They're fed up with their opposition threatening them. And all it needs is a couple bashes downfield, and Serenity once again to be the difference maker.
I love how this Conflict was glued to that post. Didn't think of jump, didn't think of even closing the ball down. Just let it happen. And suddenly we see everything now at 2-1 with 60 seconds left here. Now the side in reds, the side that was leading Carbo with everything to do with Sanity popping that one up. Archeon will be fancying his chances on this ball at one point. It's just where will it land? And speaking about the man, there he is.
Crucial block from Archeon. Gurku on the backboard now. Monkey Mode is going to collect this one. Try and touch it infield as Serenity up so quickly, and in these final minutes that have been ticking down, you can tell the juices are flowing, the adrenaline is there for Serenity. He's getting up so quickly. He's in the right places where he needs to be, but the open space once again presenting itself just goes wide of the margin. Monkey Mode tipping it to the side. Once again called into question to drive forwards. Renko, crucial interception. There's a lot of space for a shot. Serenity once again called into question. My oh my, he's done a good job of that.
Shocking shot by the striker there, though. Should have been placing that one. The corner's right in the middle, but good time wasted. Time straight down. Sandy's up. Archeon backflips, not surprised by the old man. He can't last a long game for 5 series. He only played 3. He's out of energy. But somebody call the nurse. The old man is out of the chair. He's into the playoffs.
Massive congratulations to not just Archeon, but the entire Anarchy roster. That is the definition of a team performance. They realised what was going wrong in the first half, and they opted to make a dangerous change which could have easily spelled even more disaster. But Anarchy, ultimately, with the decision to put Archeon on the pitch, and you know what? He didn't have too much of an impact in the games that they won, but it was enough of a structural change to see them across the finish line.
Well, certainly so. And you know what? It's nice to see him. It's also nice to see what the starting lineup could have also done as well too. A bit more time, a bit more work could do them well. It's going to be an awful difficult task for them, but Psycho, they've got it done. However, job's not done. And also it means tonight is also not done as well, Psycho. There is one more series as well too. And you know what? It shall be looking a decent one because I know you're also on it too.
Absolutely, and the difficulty is I think that's a very hard match to best. I feel as if we've just got ourselves the series of the evening, and you know what? This next matchup coming up, once again, exactly the same stakes on the line. Definitely going to be an interesting affair as I'm going to continue, and sadly, parting from me, Danny, but what a series we had to watch.
Well, certainly so, but it will be a shame to say that may have been match of the night. Only one way to find out, though, that is to continue watching. But it has been an enjoyable night so far, but from at least us as a temporary goodbye.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on
Welcome back, everybody, to the RSC Elite Play-ins. I'm Tavish. I'm replacing Daddy Boy here, but I'm still here, joined by Psycho. Psycho, what did you think of that last series?
Oh, well, first of all, Tavish, pleasure to be in the booth with you for the first time. But last series spelt so many storylines, just painted a beautiful picture for us. And honestly, the players hand-painted it themselves. It was an absolutely wonderful series between two teams which had their moments of glory and had their moments of collapse. Certainly made for a very interesting series indeed.
Yeah, you said it there perfectly. It was, again, another Game 5. We saw the first series, Embry Carver going to 5, and then again, Carver going to 5, but this time losing to Anarchy, and they're moving on into the lower round 1. But, you know, we're moving up to the upper bracket right now. We got Temple taking on Magium and Cult. Temple being the second place from the Ignis Conference, and Magium and Cult being the third place from the Glaciers Conference. Do you have any predictions here in this matchup, or is this just going to be a complete blank slate for you, just seeing what team will pop off here?
As much as it's a blank slate, and I'm certainly going to be waiting to see which of the two teams are going to take their advantages, I think just because of their recent run of form, Temple is the team that you need to look at and think they would be the favourites in this particular matchup. Number 2 from their conference, and also their recent history being win, win, win. Certainly different from that of their opponents.
Yeah, it might prove a little bit interesting. Like you said, Temple being 3 wins in a row, Magium and Cult having a win-draw win. So it's not that bad. It's still really close to their opponents right now. But I think it's going to be very difficult to predict really a winner here. Just like in the previous 2 matchups, it was lower bracket, but 2 Game 5s. I think we have another Game 5er on our hands, and I'm really hoping we do get one.
How dare you call it that early, Tavish? We're definitely going to be ruined now. It's going to be a sweep. You might as well turn your heads and look away now, because it's going to get ugly. But both of these teams definitely on paper have their similarities as we briskly about to get underway in our game number 1 of the final series of the evening. And just to reiterate the stakes on the line, this is the first round of the upper bracket. Neither of these two teams, following a potential loss, won't be going home tonight, which is wonderful. We get to see all these players again very, very soon. But either way, getting underway at the moment, possession firmly in the hands of Temple.
Yeah, and we have Temple in blue, Magium and Cult in the pink. Temple definitely being the more dominant team here out of the gates. And it's like we're only 30 seconds in, but already having most of the pressure, most shots on target. They just want to get an early goal, take that lead, and just hold it. Can't already look for opportunities. GC Panda for the quick shot on target, but Kairu will be in the way just in time to deny that first goal. Not the best 50 there in the corner. And we do see Magium and Cult struggling here within the first minute.
Struggling indeed, and Arctic Fox is called into question on the back lines. There's a ball spilling out to the midfield, and it almost, well, it definitely seemed as if the opportunity was going to spill itself at some point. And finally, there is just simply no more support to follow behind Arctic Fox.
Now, and there you see the beautiful follow-up from Evie, who just was waiting patiently for the opportunity to strike, for the little mistake from the defense. And Arctic Fox, you already said it there perfectly. He was just not ready there. And then it's an easy lead here for Temple. But Kairu with a quick shot on target. The defense not ready for the Temple side. They already have a tie game.
Yeah, and Yeezy Panda and Evie both being called into question for that particular touch. And, well, neither of them wanted to back down. Both really wanted to touch the sphere, threw themselves in the corner. The open space was given. It was a simple tap-in at the end of the day. It's Yeezy Panda now winning the kickoff in quite some fashion, as he almost is able to dart round the last defender by the name of Arctic Fox once again, as Cubby, a name I certainly recognise from doing some prior coaching dealings with before, and a good friend, my friend Tom in the chat, who I'm sure is going to be watching eagerly. Evie, not sure where that opportunity has quite come from. You have to take an action replay to pinch. Ricochets into the corner, the open space gifted, and, well, not conventional, but certainly well worked.
Yeah, and then Arctic Fox, he was in the perfect spot to save, probably just misread a little bit, because he, from the POV, it did look like he had a read on it. But in the end, it's just a little miss. Evie not complaining, he gets his second goal here, and does take the lead for the Temple side. And they're already hunting for the third goal. Khan with quick shot on targets. He beats the defense, I think in a 50-50 if I saw it correctly. and it's a 3-1 leader for Temple.
And it's a smart touch from Evie, but Cubby simply missing the ball. He's not going to enjoy seeing this back if he does happen to watch his exact moment there, but you know what, Cubby, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Mistakes happen, it's only happened once, so I'm not going to criticise you too deep.
But like, I think no one really likes watching rewatching those moments where you should have hit the ball, but you flip too early or anything, and then you just miss it. Because I don't think any player just looks at you like, nah, that's a beautiful moment.
Yeah, it's not particularly a painting you'd put on the fridge, perhaps. It's not really that level of artistry. Megamin Colt driving forwards in the corner. Pinch Central. Very much desperate affairs early on in this game. Number 1 for Megamin Colt. They're struggling to even escape their back line, and when they do, unconvincing touches. The support simply not met by their teammates. As I'm saying that, Gubby launching a ball downfield, and the space is gifted on just about there in time.
Oh, and I was thinking that would roll in, but the shot just a little bit too slow, and then it's an easy save on the goal line. Cubby now looking for an opportunity, but doesn't set itself in the correct position to actually make it happen. Quick shot on target will drop down, even with a follow-up, but just a little bit too late. Cubby losing the 50 to GZ Panda. Can't follow up on his own touch, but does get a 50 straight after it to keep the pressure in favor of Temple. Kairu, big clear into the other half. Cubby looking for a follow-up, does get a touch towards the backboard, but can't follow up after just being bumped a little bit off. And Temple, every player, whenever one of them goes for a touch and he misses straight after it, he does go for a disruption on one of the Megaman Cold players to make sure that at least they can keep the pressure. And Megaman Cold so far don't have an answer.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because right about now they have an answer, and it's again a simple misplay on the end of Temple. Yeezy Panda letting his teammate have the freedom in the air to try and see that one wide himself. Potentially the wrong option there. Yeezy Panda certainly could have done with bailing out his teammate, who looked so awkward in that situation.
Yeah, and you're already wondering what was Khan planning there. It was definitely not the perfect spot to drop the ball down, and Yeezy Panda, you already called it there. He didn't. He let his teammates just take a little bit too much space there to make it happen. And you know, Megan McCall, they're not complaining. They get a free goal gifted to them. They're only a 1 goal behind now, Temple, with still just over 1 minute left to play. So more than enough time to get the equalizer, to force an overtime, or maybe even get the equalizer and then just take the lead straight after it if the kickoff goes in their favor. Government do be looking for some opportunity to get out into the other half. Bit of a double committed with Arctic Fox, but still follows up on his own touch. Does get the ball close to net, but Khan will deny him. And with that free goal that they got, Maggie McCall does look like a little bit of a different roster. They're more aggressive, they're more comfortable. They're only 1 goal behind instead of 2.
They are certainly looking more comfortable indeed, and a team that you said perhaps can push Temple to the limits, push them into OT, perhaps get that early opening goal if we do see our way to overtime, is certainly showing to be the stronger team at this specific second. As Con now driving a ball into the corner. Hopefully he can find a touch to his teammate, but it's found absolutely nothing but open space, as Evie now is going to pounce on that open space himself as a clearance comes pinging through. A little bit awkward for Con, but he's going to recycle the ball back into his own corner. Back to comfortability for Temple.
Yeah, Cubby now, final 10 seconds sticking down, looking for an opportunity. Yeezy Panda in the corner will deny him. Arctic Fox does have boost, finds Skyro, but will be denied in the last second by Khan. And Temple will take game 1 after Megaman Colt. They were fighting very hard here to bounce back.
Yeah, at the end, Megaman Colt seemed to be a strong team that could make a comeback towards the tail end of that game, but perhaps game 1 nerves, or perhaps just complete fundamentals missing for both of these teams at the early stages in this series. And everyone knows there's some stakes on the line at the moment. May not be an elimination matchup, but both of these teams have potential. On paper, it's the number 2 and number 3 seeds from their conference, and honestly, I don't believe these two teams were near the strength of our previous matchup.
Nah, and I gotta agree there. And you know, you said it there, team 2, the second and third place from their conferences. And if you just take a quick look at the stats, Temple, they had so many shots to their name, 9 in total. Maggie McCall only having 5, but Maggie McCall also having 5 saves. So definitely
more on the defensive end here in this game, and Temple, they were just in the driver's seat the entire time. And Maggie McCall, they did find these little openings here and there to capitalize on the mistakes that were being made while Temple was struggling or just having some mechanical issues. And I don't know what to expect here in Game 2. Because if Temple can keep up with this, with the pressure that they have, then they will be the stronger team. But Maggie McCall, they saved so many shots already. And if they can exploit the little mistakes that are being made, the little cracks in the armor of Temple, then Maggie McCall can definitely just turn this game around.
It's absolutely not over yet, as we make our way briskly into game number 2 in the final series of the day. Easy Panda off to a flying start, trying to find his teammate Con in the middle. Evie is going to cut out the defender to keep the pressure coming. Arctic Fox smartly bailing out of his own commit to let his teammate push forwards, trying to cut out potentially some of those double commits or even triple commits that could potentially spell on their own back lines, as Cubby working forwards with a 50-50 has created all the open space in the world. Arctic Fox with a simple tap in, and Megamin Colt finally on the ball.
Yeah, and Khan, not the best 50-50 there, just turned his car a little bit too early there and into the wrong direction. And Arctic Fox, he gets it from there, free tap in. Maggie McCall taking the lead here in game number 2, already off to a strong start after a bit of a weird rotation in defense there from Temple, but still more than enough time to call this game in any direction. Temple already looked for a lot of pressure. Evie with a quick shot on target, catching the defense off guard, and it's already a tie game.
Tied game indeed, and Yeezy Panda spilling the ball so quickly central. Nothing the defender can do. I know if Danny Boy was alongside me, he would certainly have something to say about that. The keeper should have done better. The shot should have been better. Everything should have been better. But on that occasion, Megamin Colt doing what needed to be done. We see Temple now. Oh, we don't see Temple anymore. They're gone.
Yeah, and that's just a quick demo will change so much. Then you had 3 Temple players, and then you had only 1 Temple player. Maggie McCall, they're looking for the disruption plays, for the demo plays, to just create as much space as possible in their favor. And Evie now looking for an opportunity, does get a touch, bit of an awkward bounce, but manages to follow up on his own touch. Kairu just back in time to get that clear and make sure the ball will go over the net. Gone with a bit of a weird touch. And coming out into the air, almost gets a past one. Evie will deny him in the air, but Arctic Fox already with a follow-up. Double commit from the Megaman Cold side. Still a shot on target, but it's an easy save for Yeezy.
Absolutely easy peasy for Yeezy as he sees the ball clearance, and Evie getting a demo forwards against Arctic Fox, potentially opening up a brief bit of space. Megaman Colt with a fine transition back upfield. Kairu trying to best Evie. A strong position. Neither of the 2 players on the back line wanting to commit straight away for Megamin Colt, and you can definitely see that for both of these teams, they're wanting to eliminate those simple mistakes that were plaguing them in the first game.
Yeah, but look at this. A little mistake in defense. Khan recognizes it, and he rips a shot towards the far post, and he will put it in. 2-1 lead for Temple, and you were just talking about the little mistakes that no one wants to make them. Well, Maggie McCall did make them by leaving the back post just a little bit too far open. And then you just have a shooter like Khan. He will recognize that little spot and just puts it perfectly where it needed to be. Coming out looking for a redirect, but will be denied by 2 players from Temple. Guy with a shot on target will be a little bit high, and Cubby can't follow up. Ball all the way into the other half, but just wide. So Maggie McCall doesn't concede another goal. Cubby looking for an opportunity. Not the best touch, but Khan can't make contact. And Maggie McCall does look like they get a little bit of a breather.
It looks so scary at the back lines at the moment for Megamin Colt. I'm just waiting for a ball to go in. And I talked about how both of these teams are wanting to eliminate some of their mistakes, but the double commits are flying in as we see another just there, and all out of shape, all out of structure. Megamin Colt clearly uncomfortable at the back lines. The question is for them, how quickly can they transition back to where they're comfortable as the net constantly being pounded by Temple. As Cubby finally, with a bit of breathing room, is able to peel off for that middle boost to try and create something for his team.
Yeah, and you're definitely looking at the Maggie McCall side. They just need one big clear into the other half so they can get a breather, so they can get their normal rotation, because this is not how they would normally play. This is just Temple dominating the game, determining how everyone should play, and Megumin Cult looking for just playing the best of their capabilities in this scenario. We still have 1:30 left to play, so more than enough time for Megumin Cult to create an opportunity, not with a shot like this and a beautiful save straight after it, but Temple already looking for more shots on target. Kairu does get a clear into midfield. Almost a good follow-up by Artifacts, but Khan just there to deny every possibility into midfield. Kairu not the best of clears here, and Yeezy can't follow up. Megumin Cult doesn't concede, but it was so close to conceding the third goal.
The amount of times that this team in orange could have conceded surely can be counted with 2 hands now. It shouldn't be 2-1, it should be about 7-1. Megumin Cult somehow surviving at the back through thick and thin, almost undeservedly so. The game only being within 1 is a joke at the moment as Cubby somehow claws that one away as well. He works forward on a secondary touch and they really cannot escape their own defense at the moment. Arctic Fox driving forwards desperately, no boost in the tank. 2 players committed down that left-hand side of the field trying to be the spark to light the fire in their team's hearts. Skyru with a shot. It's able to convert. Arctic Fox back to the middle, and the clock certainly ticking down. Certainly not time to be playing with.
Now it's final 10 seconds ticking down yet again. Cubby looking for an opportunity, gets denied by Eevee Kairu. Has boost to work with, has time to work with. Gets bumped off by 1. Almost an opportunity. It will touch the ground. It was so close to a double touch. And I was really hoping that would go in, so we had that overtime. But in the end, the woodwork and one of the Temple defenders will make sure that the ball will touch the ground. Temple 2-0 up here in this series. Megumin Cult, they have to fight back here. Otherwise, it's gonna be a sweep in favor of Temple.
You shouldn't have predicted the game 5 at the start, Tavish. You've doomed us all. Megumin Cult, I'm expecting at least 7 more whiffs on the back line to create all the open space for a sweep to see its way through in this series. But in all seriousness, Megumin Cult have such a difficult affair at the moment because they know that everything is collapsing. They can't just highlight one specific key pointer to work on when they're 2 games down. They just need a complete reformation. If there was an Archaon at the back line supporting and cheering him on, maybe now would be a good time to sub him on the field, but unfortunately, they don't have that luxury, Tavish.
Nah, not every team can have an Archaon that just defends everything. But if you look at the Megumin Cult, they had 9 saves in total, so more than enough defensive work from every one of them. And Arctic Fox having 4, Cubby 3, and Kairu 2. So everyone was definitely pitching in to get all the saves. But with everyone focusing so much on defense, there was no one ready to actually transition back into offense and to keep the pressure. Because there were more than enough moments where Megumin Cult did have an opportunity to score, to just fight back. But in the end, they were just too busy with holding the defense.
You might be right in saying that it's a difficult affair to escape the dreaded D word, the defense that everyone playing this game hates so much. From those old folk who have no mechanics to our name and just pray that that's going to see you through your wins. As Arctic Fox beaten out by a blue player. Cubby launching it off to the side, and Kairu has a lot of work to do, but can't even beat one player pushing forwards by the name of Con, who drives it up to the wall. An interception needed from Cubby. Is the third man in a smart enough position to deal with it? Was on that occasion. Oh no.
Oh, you're just covering your eyes at this point by the goal for Eevee. You saw Kairu getting the clear. Arctic Fox gets bumped. Cubby did not expect that one of his teammates would get bumped. And then it's just a slow roller into that net. This is heartbreaking. Psycho, I don't know what to say anymore.
Yeah. Bitter disappointment. Probably the words you're looking for, unfortunately. As Cubby at the back line's beaten out by Con, who's lunged up so quickly. And unfortunately for Megumin Cult, once again, a double commit. And a player at the back lines who was uncomfortable in the situation he was left with. Megumin Cult seriously struggling at the moment to the number 2 seed in Temple from their conference.
Yeah, and you saw Cubby, he was there in the position, but like you said, he was awkward, not prepared for it. And then Con a little touch, just a little bit higher, and it goes over to defense. Con looking for another goal, but will be denied by Cubby this time. He will get the save. Third time is the charm, that's always what they're saying. Jeezy now looking for an opportunity, will be a bit high. Con Beautiful follow-up, drops it down, bounce shot will go in, and it's a 3-0 lead here. And it's a hat. Oh, I want to say a hat trick for Con, but I'm a little bit too early. Evie also had one of the goals.
Con looking to fulfill his hat trick and just end the series with a lovely lit candle on top of the cake. Yeezy Panda on the wall now, beating one. Evie now trying to best Cubby, who on that particular occasion has stood tall in his third man positioning. As Con now working forwards, trying to best Cubby, and I always feel it's that exact player I've been mentioning so often at the back line who has all the work to do and simply is not comfortable in doing it. As Arctic Fox driving forwards, cannot suffocate the defense and cannot create anything for his team either. As Arctic Fox to the backboard, Cubby, and a difficult read for himself, but also something the defense could not get their hands on.
Yeah, now almost an opportunity here for Con, but it will be denied by the crossbar. Cubby now looking for an opportunity to get it into the midfield. Not enough boost to actually make it happen, but Arctic Fox will follow up, does get the double touch from the wall towards the net. Con looking for a pinch, gets denied by himself, actually not the best of touches. Arctic Fox looking now for opportunities, but Megaman Kill, they're struggling here. They're fighting so hard to get that ball over the midfield line, but every time they try, one of the players from Temple will be there. Now a shot on target, but it's an easy save for Panda. Arctic Fox looking for the opportunity, makes it real. Con not ready, and Arctic Fox will get a goal back here.
And you know what's funny? As much as that seemed a trivial mistake, that could really come to haunt them. Temple, only 2 goals in between themselves and Megamin Colts. Just over 2 minutes on the clock. Certainly something that Megamin Colt can work their way back into if they leave their own backlines as sloppy as they did just then, as a shot comes through to the upper 90. Lavish. I'm kind of hoping you can hold my hand in this sad moment, as unfortunately we see an Arctic Fox bumped again, and need I say more?
Well, I'm definitely sending a virtual hand your way to hold it, and this is heartbreaking for all the Megaman Cold fans, but we still have 2 minutes left to play, and there's more than enough time for opportunities. Never mind, Evie shuts me up. He just puts in another goal. Beautiful goal here by Evie, straight from the kickoff. Gets a little bit of an air dribble above Arctic Fox. Defense not ready. You saw Kairu rushing back to get a little piece of that, but in the end, it's just a little bit too late. 5-1 in favor of Temple. They're dominating here in game number 3. They want to end it in fashion. They want to send a message to all the teams they have to face further on in the bracket. Like, yeah, we swept, but we did it in fashion here in game number 3.
And you know what? You're probably right when it comes to the other teams looking at this particular showcase. They might realise that Megamin Colt aren't putting on the strongest of performances, but even so, Temple, winning in such a demanding fashion, could be something that is feared by the opposition. Arctic Fox trying to, well, just get a consolation goal at this point. There's 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock. Pretty much every single shot that has been put in by the side of Temple has been from an unforced error. And you know what? This might actually be one of the finest goals, should I say, we've seen in this series so far.
And this was just, it's a beautiful player. You saw the little touch towards Arctic Fox, and then he jumps perfectly, gets a little piece of the ball above the defense, and it's to the second goal for him, and the second goal for Megaman Colt. Arctic Fox looking out for his hat trick here. Shot a little bit wide, does have a follow-up on his own. Can he get the shot? No, it's just a little bit too awkward. Ball all the way into the other half. Cubby now a bit awkward in defense. Shot from Colin, but it will be wide. Cubby now looking for opportunities. Wins the 50 against Evie. Looking for the infield pass. Gets denied yet again. Everyone from Temple, they don't want to concede any more goals. They want to keep it like this. They want to score more but not concede. And you just see everyone from the Megaman Colt side. I think they're realizing what's happening, but they just want to go out in their terms and with many goals in their favor as possible.
And you know what? I feel as if Megamin Colt deserve at least one. Temple have been toying with their food in terms of the offense a little too much of recent. The last 20, maybe 30 seconds have shown not just any cracks, but almost like a landslide of mistakes And finally, Mega Man Cult have been able to expose one of those flaws and tap home a third. And now we've created a situation in which winning the game for Mega Man Cult is not absolutely impossible.
It's definitely not impossible, but it's really difficult at this point. Under 30 seconds, clock ticking down. They still need 2 goals to tie the game here. Cairo looking for an opportunity, finds the backboard, but the bounce not in his favor. Coming out, up, will put it in! Arctic Fox, beautiful infield pass. Defense was not expecting Cubby to be up there, and Cubby will slot in the 4th goal for Mega Cult. Psycho, do you think that they can tie it up here?
Now, usually I have a heart of stone, but right now I have hope. Because if any team is deserving of getting themselves back in this series, it's one that's fought so hard to the very end. Mega Man Cult, 5 seconds on the clock as Kairu in the corner has to deliver some pressure, and he's beaten too, but the ball just falls shy of meeting a teammate in orange. Unfortunately for Mega Man Cult, towards the end of that series, they looked as if they were getting back into the game, believe it or not. Don't know how I'm even saying those words. 5-1 was a result. Not a result. It was a series scoreline which we had towards the tail end of this game. And how close was it? It was pretty darn close.
Yeah, and you know, at the beginning of this game when Temple started popping off, I was like, oh, this is going to be a very dominant showing here from Temple in this final game. Because, you know, they were 5-1 and we had under 2 minutes left to play, I believe. But Mega Cult, they fought back and they just managed to get 3 goals. And in the final seconds, they were so close to getting that equalizer, forcing that overtime. It was just a little bit too difficult in the end. Temple really focusing on the defensive rotation in the final 30 seconds to make it as difficult as possible. But luckily, Mega Cult is not out yet. We will see them in the lower bracket.
Absolutely, and that's the joys of having an upper round match. You can have all the stakes in the world, but ultimately you're going to be seeing these 2 teams again. And ultimately, I really do believe Mega Man Cult had more to bring in that series and more to bring in this competition. They will certainly have to show, because they found themselves all the way in the lower bracket.
Yeah, and you know, Temple 3-0, they're staying in the upper bracket. They're going to be facing Arrows in their next matchup. And Mega Cult, they're going to be facing Anarchy in the lower bracket. And Anarchy, they went to that game 5. Mega Cult, they're definitely looking at Anarchy like, yeah, we're going to take it. We're going to take a game here. We're going to take the entire series. So Archeon and the squad can better prepare, because this is going to be a very difficult series for them.
Absolutely, and Anarchy, spelled Anarchy on our bracket here. We must forgive our broadcasters putting in a very hard shift behind the scenes. It's going to be a difficult matchup for Mega Man Cult. Absolutely. Anarchy put in a performance which was pretty much out of nowhere. They were controlling of the first game that they played in that series, but bar that, it looked a struggle for Anarchy, and yet they pushed themselves across the finish line, and that is a very difficult task to achieve, and they did so with our good friend RK on behind the scenes, who managed to be the difference maker in that series that pushed them forwards. But between the 2 of the teams, there's one in my mind that has a little more solidity.
Yeah, and you know, we won't find out tonight, sadly. But we do have a lot more of RSC action coming your way in these following days. So, you know, we call it here tonight in a sweep. But we will be back with more play-ins and playoff action. So, you know, we'll see you in the next stream.